time for the Tennessee Highway Safety Office High School Football Game of the Week. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. The Game of the Week is also brought to you in part by Delta Dental of Tennessee and Main Street Media. Now, let's go to the field and join our play-by-play hosts live from the game. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another edition of Main Street Preps Radio High School Football Game of the Week coverage presented all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and our good friends at Delta Dental of Tennessee. We come to you tonight, week 4 of the high school football season. In the blink of an eye is upon us, and we will get our second look at a team that we had early in this season. We are on the campus of Beech as the Buccaneers, sitting there with a 2-1 record, are set to host the East Nashville Eagles, who enter tonight's contest 0-2. Should be a fantastic night for high school football. And, folks, we are delighted that you are with us here on Main Street Preps Game of the Week coverage. Alongside Casey Patrick, Neely saying hello. And, Casey, we've made the trip up to Beech. We say this every week, but it's a great night for high school football, and this is an outstanding facility and an outstanding campus here at Beech.
Yeah, everything's really pretty except for the stuff that they're working on. You know, it's just a little bit gray out there, but they're doing plenty of work out here and working on this a really nice campus they got out here at Beech. And like you said, I mean, it is really pretty. It's a beautiful night for football. Again, Wade, we've had quite a few weeks now in a row where we've had some really good weather for football, and I'm excited to see this Beech team again.
This is going to be the fun part. You touched on it there. Coming into this game tonight, we broadcast that Week 1 opener when Green Hill kind of humbled Beech in that opener for both teams. Our second look at the Bucs. They've certainly improved in terms of wins and losses. They've won 2 after suffering that opening loss. But what other sorts of improvement? We knew that there would be, right? Head coach Anthony Crabtree, too good of a coach, too good of a coaching staff to kind of not see that improvement. Tonight, the real question will simply be, how much improvement have we seen from Week 1 to Week 4?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm interested in, and I also want to see. I know Week 1, I was interested in seeing Caden Powell or Sawyer Phillips and how they were going to treat the quarterback. I'm interested to see if they're still kind of using a 2-quarterback system. Of course, they're coming off 2 wins with a 29-0 win over Mount Juliet, and then last week 20-14 over Henry County. Henry County is that's a strong program, so anytime you get a win like that over that type of a team. You got to think Beech is kind of turned the corner. They might be rolling in a really good direction now. And I think they probably are playing quite a bit better than they were 4 weeks ago.
No doubt they are playing with more confidence, if nothing else, and they're also playing at home tonight, folks. Once again, we are on the campus of Beech High School. Lovely, lovely facility here in one of the more northern reaches of our Main Street Media coverage area. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a fantastic night for high school football. Casey and I are delighted that you are with us. Our producer, Mark Rogers, as always, making the magic happen back behind the Main Street Preps glass. And for now, we kick it out to a timeout. Once again, it's Main Street Preps Game of the Week coverage presented all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Welcome back, folks, and once again, welcome to the campus of Beech High School. Going to be an outstanding night of high school football. Not the only game in our coverage area tonight. Casey and I will be bringing you guys scores as the night continues. We know our good friend and colleague Maurice Patton. He's down at the Pit. Casey, you ever been to the Pit down in Lincoln County?
No, sir, I have not.
When it is rocking, and you could make the case with Lincoln County sitting there at 3-0 that this is about as rocking as it will be, has been in a long time. They've got Columbia Academy on the docket tonight. Also, our coverage area sees Eagleville traveling to Cascade tonight in a battle of 2-1 ball clubs. East Hickman, a team that we're familiar with, a team that you have seen with your own two eyes already this year. They're 1-1. They're taking on the Forest Rockets, who you've also seen this year. And Forest has an outstanding running back, I've been told. So that should be a fantastic showdown across our mid-state coverage area this evening.
I will tell you, if you get the chance to go watch Forest football, they've got a running back named Quincy Mitchell, and he's worth the price of admission. I'll tell you that right now. He ran for 386 against Creekwood in week 1, and he's ran for almost 300 every week since. He ran for 195 last week, but the kid's pretty good.
Good friend of mine and a friend of Main Street Media, Mr. Wes Hobbs, the old Forest basketball coach. He texted me after that week 1 game, and he said, hey, you need to check out this running back. And I said, well, let me tap into Casey's knowledge. And Casey said, oh, yeah, he's legit. And you just heard the numbers there. So that'll be a big showdown tonight. But coming into this matchup, Casey, East Nashville, we touched on it a moment ago, 0-2, but Beech is 2-1. And the way that this game is set up, it's not a must-win for East Nashville. They still have a couple of weeks to get ready before region play begins, but it is darn close as they are up against it tonight with an 0-2 record in a spot that they usually do not find themselves in. So we'll have another little more in-depth preview of East Nashville in just a moment. But for now, we'll take a timeout as we have our national anthem being played here at the campus of Beech High School. Casey and I return right after this. High School Preps, Main Street Preps Game of the Week coverage coming your way right after this here from Beech.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
What are you doing out there?
Come on!
I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Tennessee.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing Weather Report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
Welcome back, gang. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wade Neely saying good evening, and we are moments away, about 9 minutes, I should say, from kickoff in tonight's contest. Casey, before we went to break, great national anthem, as always, and as to be expected. Good battle of the bands here tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. And our first real time this season, Casey, that both bands have actually made appearances. We've seen the visiting team kind of keep theirs away more often than not. So we get a battle of the teams on the gridiron. We get a battle of the bands at halftime and pregame as well. So that's kind of an extra bonus when you come up here to Beech versus East Nashville this evening.
Oh, yeah, and I got the opportunity to see East Nashville's band last year in the playoffs. They played against Sycamore in the playoffs. And I've seen East Nashville play a few times. Their band is one of the best parts of the program. It's always fun to listen to those guys. They get into it, guys and girls, excuse me. They get into it over there. And it's always fun to listen to these young people when they do get into it. Beech has got a really large. It looks like some of those are just kids standing around, but they have a pretty big marching band anyway. So. Again, it just adds to the pageantry, makes everything a little bit better for everybody out here.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Casey, before we went to break, we were telling you guys about East Nashville. Kind of unfamiliar territory. This is a Eagles bunch. You mentioned them in the playoffs, and they didn't go to the championship game last year for the first time since 2020. They were runner-up from 21, 22, and 23. There's a little program you guys may have heard of called Alcoa that kind of stood in the way. Otherwise, we're talking about East Nashville probably winning 3 straight state championships themselves. But they're sitting here at 0-2, and it's not the end of the season if they can't come out with a victory here tonight. But if you could somehow rally and get a win versus a program several classifications, punching up in weight, as it were, you have a chance to really kind of build some confidence when you do head into region play here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and that's what that coaching staff is telling the Eagles right now. You know, it's a lot of it is about just finding your footing. Tonight's final result may not really matter, and what really matters is whether or not these teams can really start to turn the corner. Now, we talked about Beech being able to get 2 wins in a row. Maybe they have turned that corner. The Eagles got to do the same thing. It's going to be a different process for that team, but they have to find where they can kind of put their foot in the ground and get going in the right direction.
East Nashville coming in, we mentioned, with that record of 0-2, and Beech, meanwhile, Casey gave you the goods on them. They lost that opener to Green Hill, but a nice win versus Mount Juliet, a nice win versus Henry County, and kind of further setting the stage. These 5A Bucks, you know, enrollment doesn't count for everything, but just to kind of accurately set the stage, official TSSAA enrollment for these 2 schools, East Nashville no longer in 3A. They dropped down a classification. They're playing in 2A ball now, and they have an enrollment nice and tidy of 507 officially listed. Beech, meanwhile, the Bucks at 5A, 1,445. So that doesn't necessarily mean, and we see quality programs like East Nashville, it doesn't matter what classification you are, they can come out and get you. But just in terms of setting the stage, we have a smaller school taking on a bigger school, but we have a fantastic backdrop here tonight for high school football.
Yeah, and I like the way you put that. You know, it doesn't always matter about the size of the school, but it does kind of play into it. You know, if you look at it more in general terms, you can see that these bigger schools, they usually do have quite a bit more talent. But there are a lot of small schools, and East Nashville is one of them. When you get the right kind of coaching staff in there, you can win a lot of football games. And these are leaders of men out there for the Eagles. Again, tonight it might be tough. They've had a rough road through the first 2 games, and tonight is not an easy game against a weak opponent. Tonight's another tough game against a really good opponent. We've been talking about Beech the whole time, but again, this is all about really from the neck up. You know, you can't really defeat yourself from the neck down with your thoughts beforehand. They've got to start to build some confidence, and whether or not they get the W at the end of the night with the scoreboard, you have to do things on the field that help you build that confidence.
Couple of players to keep your eyes on for East Nashville this evening. It all kind of starts with their quarterback, Dallas Covington. Covington is 16 of 19 passing. Nice and tidy percentage there, 84.5% completion percentage, 151 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Running the football, however, that could be the bread and butter for these Eagles. They'll look at senior tailback Keith Johnson, 5'10", 180-pound senior. Again, Keith Johnson carrying the load, 34 totes, 225 yards. He's had a 100-yard game to his credit already this season, and he does have a touchdown on the ground. And when they do air it out, Cortez Murphy is the team's leading receiver. Not the most eye-popping numbers, but we're still talking about an East Nashville offense that's trying to find its way. And this is an offense that we've seen in years past. They'd like to be 50-50, but they have no problems. If you have an elite playmaker at one particular position, they may turn into a run-first offense, or they may turn into a pass-happy offense. They kind of dictate based on their personnel. So that makes it difficult to game plan for a team coached by Damian Harris here.
Well, and like I've said, I've been able to – I've had the opportunity to watch Dallas Covington play football a few times, and he absolutely can air the ball out. So if you're a Beech fan, you know, don't get too don't get too confident in any part of your defense, because East Nashville at any moment can really open it up. They do love the ground game. A lot of high schools do, and I don't blame them when you got a running back like Keith Johnson back there. But if Dallas Covington gets the opportunity to show off the arm, and again, this is another week. We've had a few weeks in a row here where we get to watch ourselves a pretty good quarterback. I think Dallas Covington's another one of those. And Beech has got two of them, but I really do like Covington. I like what he allows this offense to do. And I think for the Eagles to have a chance, you're probably going to have to see him push the field with his arm. His legs are going to be important. He's only averaging about 10 passes a game. If he can stay around there, I think the Eagles have a good chance to win, but I'm afraid he's going to have to throw the ball more to keep them in it.
You are absolutely right. And as we shift gears, we talked about it in our Week 1 broadcast. Beech has got a little bit of a different problem, Casey. They kind of have too much talent almost at times. And we talked about it that opening night. Caden Powell, 6'3", 240-pound senior. He's an elite quarterback, but he's a fantastic SEC-level baseball commit, set to apply his trade at the University of Kentucky. But waiting just behind him, kind of a quarterback, quote-unquote, controversy. Sawyer Phillips played so well this offseason that he's kind of thrust himself into the mix. And as you mentioned it a moment ago, it'll be fascinating to see how they divvy up those reps here tonight.
Well, and there's an old saying in sports that the best ability is availability. And we knew that Caden Powell had quite a few injury issues, and he did go visit some baseball camps in the offseason. So Sawyer Phillips was able to really open up the offense and find his footing within the offense. So it is interesting because they do have a lot of talent. This is one of those games where you feel like Beech, the bigger school, they do on paper have quite a bit of talent. You think they should be able to kind of enforce their will, and they should be able to run the ball. So I'm assuming here, and I hate to do that, but I'm assuming you're going to see a lot of Caden Powell tonight, keeping the ball on the ground. Shelton Swafford is one of those guys that can really scoop. So I expect the Buccaneers to keep the ball on the ground a little bit more, so that makes me think we're going to see a little bit more of Powell. But if they start to get a little bit of a lead, you might get to see Phillips. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be fun to see how they kind of go through it.
Kind of the last dress rehearsal or two for our squads. As we mentioned, region play, if it hadn't begun for your area schools, don't worry, it's coming in the next week or two. As Casey and I will take our final time out. When we come back, we'll bring you the results of our coin toss, and we will get you prepped. Opening kickoff coming your way right after this, here tonight on Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage, presented all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing weather report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. On a gorgeous Thursday night in mid-September, we welcome you into the Week 4 broadcast of the Main Street Preps Game of the Week, as East Nashville has made the trip over here to Shackle Island to take on the Beech Buccaneers. Brought to you all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental. He's Casey Patrick. I'm Wade Neely. Our producer tonight is Mark Rogers. Casey, East Nashville, I love this. They win the toss. They said, yeah, give us the ball. And so we'll see Beech kick it away here in just a matter of moments.
Yeah, and you kind of stole my thunder there. That's exactly what I was going to start off with. I love the fact that the Eagles are going to take the ball first. When you are going up against a bigger school that on paper I think a lot of people would choose Beech to win this game, when you're going up against a school like that, go out there and set the the tone, and I love what the Eagles are giving themselves an opportunity to do that. Going to get Covington out on the field early. Going to get the rest of this offense out there. We talked about Keith Johnson, Cortez Murphy, Jordan Van Leer. I'm ready to see all these guys get out here and see what they can do.
East Nashville is going to wear white uniforms tonight, tops and bottoms. They have their red numerals, smoky gray helmets. Beech is in white bottoms, navy tops, navy helmets with orange numerals. As there is the announcement, it's football time in Shackle Island, and this one is shackled all the way 5 yards deep into the end zone. Opening kickoff yields a touchback. 79 degrees here at kickoff. Picture perfect yet again on a Thursday night. Welcome in, folks.
Yeah, I said it last week, but we must be living right, because this weather it's actually kind of crazy now because we've had a month straight of really, really great weather. So we've got football, which is already good enough, but Lord's blessing us with some good weather tonight, and I love it.
Ain't no doubt about it, partner. 1st and 10, opening snap. Coming from the 20 as Covington calling his own number. And now a little run pass option. That pass is complete downfield, out across the 50 and bumped out of bounds at around the opposing 45. Dumped way downfield to number 18, Jared Osibonsu, the junior, hauling it in for massive first down yardage.
When I thought they had another receiver down here on the bottom of the screen. They're going fast, too. I thought he was open. They had 2 guys open on that last play. Going too fast.
You might be on to something, Casey. Yeah, we got a procedure penalty here against the Eagles. Big catch on the first play from scrimmage. Jared Osei-Bonsu, 5'11", 160-pound wideout. We did not call his name in the pregame. We would have gotten to him eventually because this East Nashville team always has some playmakers. 1st and 15 now. They're going to load up and throw it again. Deep downfield. Here's a shot toward the end zone over the head of the aforementioned Osei-Bonsu. There is a deep flag, however. I say deep in the secondary. Let's check the marker.
It looks like they might get a hold on the defensive back there. I believe that's what the white hat just called out, too.
So a 35-yard pitch and catch on the opening play. We had 1st and 15 after the procedure. Now we're going to have our first defensive penalty of the night.
And the Eagles will get a first. Of course, they're going to replay first down, but they've got 1st and 5 coming up. So I'd like to imagine Covington's going to load up and just fire another deep one here with the short field they've got.
Ball resting right between the 2 hashes. East Nashville's moving left to right in this first quarter. Opening drive of the ball game. First turn and give in the backfield, and that goes to Cortez Murphy, who we mentioned as a receiving threat, but they give it to him on a little bit of a sweep there. He goes laterally, picking up maybe a yard before he's brought to the ground on the turf here at Beech High School.
Well, and that was really interesting, too, because I saw him in the backfield before the play started, but I assumed he was going to be in some sort of a motion, but they just handed it off to him. Again, coaching staff over there, Coach Damian Harris, just doing what he can to get his athletes the ball in some space, get 2nd and 4 coming up.
2nd and manageable here. Pocket breaking down, and there goes Covington. And he buys himself some time, buys himself some space, and picks up a first down. Wiggling to his left, his weak side, but he was still enough of a threat to throw that he froze the defender and picked up the necessary yards, picking up about 5 for a first down.
A little bit of a stiff arm there, too. Pretty strong stiff arm from Covington.
Fresh set of downs here on 1st and 10. Opening drive of the ball game. Nobody scored yet. And give over on the left side.
I believe that was Van Leer. The other, I've got him listed as a receiver as well, but he is running back and receiver here on this roster.
Give me that number real quick, partner.
That's number 20.
Thank you. Jordan Van Leer on a little tote.
He's still in the backfield.
Picks up about 6 yards. Covington now loading up, throwing one deep toward the right side. Caught! Touchdown, Eagles. A room service dime dropped right in the breadbasket as Cortez Murphy just ran right underneath it. plenty of space on the right side end zone to tap the toes in and put 6 on the board. Great drive for East Nashville. They lead it 6-0.
Well, we talked about it when they took the coin toss. That's exactly what they needed to do. Come out, set the tone. That's what they did. Covington with a really nice throw there. Cortez Murphy almost outran it. He had to slow himself down. He ran a corner route right in here to the closer end of the end zone. And, he just ran from the defender. Like I said, he had to slow down to keep him going out of bounds. We're going to have another penalty here on the extra point.
33-yard touchdown unofficially here. 10:26 remaining in the opening quarter. East Nashville leading 6-0, but we're still trying to figure out what's going on with the penalty after the touchdown here. The points will stand. Casey's hands are still in the air. We're still trying to figure out what's going on here, folks.
I think he called a illegal substitution on the extra point. What was really confusing me is he wouldn't let any of the East Nashville players leave the field. He made them all stand there while he made the call. He was pretty adamant about it too.
Week 4 action starting with a bang, folks. East Nashville going 80 yards. And this PAT is no good. So 6-0 is all that it remains. PAT no good. And so the Bucs give up an early touchdown, but the Eagles will kick it off. Casey and I are back right after this. Great start to this ball game here. Lots of action here on Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage presented by our good friends at Delta Dental.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
What a start to this game, folks. We told you prepare for fireworks, and East Nashville made us look good to start. They take the ball, and they immediately march 2 huge pass plays, one on the opening play from 30 for 35, and then a touchdown from 33. Extra point was no good, and they kick it off to Beech, and on a full head of steam, out across the 35, out across the 40, there is Chelton Swafford, the playmaker for the Bucs, getting his hands on the ball early and putting the Bucs in pretty good field position. They'll begin this drive at their own 44-yard line.
Well, and Swafford's one of those guys that, if you keep your eyes on him the whole time, you're going to see quite a few good plays. And I'm interested to see D.K. Williams, too. They used him quite a bit in the backfield as more of a short yardage back. But Caden Powell's going to be the first quarterback we see tonight. And like I said, I assume we're going to see him most of the evening. I've been wrong before, and I'm wrong a lot. So who knows?
Beech is moving right to left in this opening quarter. And there goes Powell. Great little zone read. And he calls his own number right up the middle. We told you guys he's 6'3", 240 pounds. And Powell goes bruising across the 50, out across the 45. He's finally brought down at the East Nashville 42-yard line. Fresh set of downs after a nice pickup.
When the safety come up and make contact on Powell at about the 46, maybe the 47-yard line, and Powell just carried him to the 42. And again, I mean, you can look from up here. I mean, we're up here in the press box. You can look from up here, and you can tell that, like, number 74 right there, Jack Fuchs, him, and number 13, Caden Powell, they're just a little bit bigger than everybody else out there. So Powell just carrying some guys around for the first down.
6-0 is your score. East Nashville leads, but Beech is already threatening. Man in motion. They fake it to him. Now they give up the middle and swallow it up. Good job of pursuing that play off the backside edge by, I believe, number 9, Ja'Shawn Taylor. Trying to see if that jersey will come unstuck there. East Nashville numerals a little difficult to see there, but it was a good play and a good tackle, and not much of a gain there. 2nd and 10.
It was a slow developing play from the offense as well. It allowed the defense to get there.
They go more conventional on this rush attempt for Swafford. Swafford's out across the 40. He's brought down at around the 37-yard line. So 3rd and manageable here after that tote.
Well, I'm kind of interested to see if the Buccaneers don't get the first down here. I'd like to see what they end up doing on fourth down. I'm not wishing the offense any bad luck, but I would like to see what's going through Coach Crabtree's mind if they do have a fourth and short coming up here. So who knows?
They officially mark it 5-yard gain there. I thought it was going to be a little more manageable, but it doesn't matter because Swafford is shot out of a cannon right up the middle. And he's finally brought down, a yard shy. So Swafford with 2 nice carries in a row, but they're still going to be short here, and it's that proverbial decision time for Coach Crabtree. 8:12 to go in the opening quarter, 4th and 1 upcoming.
The offense didn't even look like they were coming off the field, so I think these guys knew this was going to be probably 2 runs, and you got DK Williams coming in. This is what I love to see. You got some big guys, you got tight ends. You're going to pound this thing right up the middle, I would hope.
4th and a couple of inches here. They goes Powell, and he's loose. Quarterback sweep over to the right side, and he has the first down and then some. Out across the 20, finally wrestled down around the 4-yard line. And they officially mark him at the 6.
We got some laundry.
There's a flag, however. And, that was a sneaky flag. That was tough for us to see there.
When they turn the lights off, too, I can't see nothing out here.
Beech's game operations, they're running on a different level than most of your high schools, folks. They're top-notch.
Oh, they got SEC lights and stuff going off all the time. It's great for the environment. It just makes it a little bit hard for me to see the flags that are 300 yards away over there.
And that's a flag against Beech. So it's going to push the ball back to the 35.
And Powell had some really nice speed there to start to get away from the defense. I'm surprised they didn't get a horse collar on the tackle down there. But either way, bringing back 4th down.
4th and 3. Offense stays out in this kind of tight formation, and a quarterback draw, as it were. And, man, this is going to be close, and I think he's short.
Yeah, the defense for Beech is already walking out on the field. I think they know he's short. And he is.
I was trying to build a little drama, but it appears that it was well short. I couldn't even get the suspense because the official said they didn't even think about a measurement. I was hoping we might even see the sticks come out, but what a stop for East Nashville, who scored in quick fashion on their opening drive, and Beech's opening drive ends up with a turnover on downs.
Well, and, this start from East Nashville has me wondering how good Antioch is. I didn't get to see those guys a few weeks ago, but they beat East Nashville 32-27. Antioch might be a little bit better than I thought they were.
7:37 to go.
Ooh.
1st and 10 from the 33. This is a screen of sorts and a wide receiver screen that's over the head of Murphy. The question will be, was that a lateral or not?
That's what I was worried of at first, but I do believe they're just going to the side judge down here called it incomplete. I think they're going to give him an incomplete pass on that, but it was really close to backwards.
Big break there. East Nashville, the ball went out of bounds, but the good news is you saved that field position. So 2nd and 10 from their own 33. East Nashville leads 6-0. Eagles are 0-2, but they're playing well here. Covington pump faking and going down. Dropped in the backfield. A couple of Beech Bucks in the area, but it was DK Williams. We had his name on the tips of our tongues often in week 1, and he's at it again on defense here, sacking Covington in the backfield for a big loss, 3rd and long.
Well, and if he's got the type of footwork that Coach Crabtree doesn't mind running him at running back, when he gets in the backfield back there, he's one of the few guys that will be able to chase down Covington. So just breaking through that offensive line, bringing up a 3rd and long here, which Beech with a really nice response. We talked about that a lot week 1, responding. But Beech with a nice response here, bringing up 3rd and long.
East Nashville had a world of momentum, but this drive has gone backwards. And it's going backwards again, and very lucky to hang on to the football. Couple of Bucks in on that sack right there. Barrett Brown and Wyatt Davis combining and converging, dropping Covington in the backfield. And a quick punting situation. As quickly as East Nashville had a chance to extend its lead, that is by the wayside. Back-to-back sacks forcing a punting situation.
Yeah, it looks like 4th and almost 30 coming up. D.K. Williams in the backfield again there, but like you said, it was just a bunch of Buccaneers that were in the backfield that time to bring down Covington. They tried a little slow developing play action that did not work.
East Nashville does get a good snap. They do get a pretty decent kick. Those have been rarities for those that have been listening to all of our Thursday night games this season. But all told, it wasn't the prettiest punt, but it takes a nice roll and finally dies at the Beech 40, where the Bucs will take over. East Nashville leads this game 6-0, 5:56 to go. We're in the opening quarter.
Well, and I'll be honest, I've been thinking about that punt at Mount Juliet last week. It left skid marks. I thought about it multiple times throughout the week. That one, they were able to get a really good roll on it to get Beech back on the other side of the field, but I'm interested to see what the offense does this possession.
They go to the air, and that pass is caught on 1st and 10, out across the 45, out across the 50, opposing 45. Good grab on that near sideline. Jeremy Laster, 5'10", 145-pound receiver, hauls it in, and just like that, Beech is out across and at the East Nashville 40.
Yeah, I mean, they pick up 20 yards on a four-yard hitch route right there. Jeremy Laster, we talked about him week 1 being the speedster for the offense. He was able to make the corner miss right there, and just, like I said, the defense is really lucky they were able to catch up to him to stop him. But 20 yards on a 4-yard hitch.
Fresh set of downs. This is a traditional give right up the middle, and Swafford, 5'11", 194 pounds. Looks a little smaller than that, but he shows some muscle running right into the teeth of the East Nashville defense. And right up the chute, he picks up 8 yards right there. 2nd and 2 upcoming.
Well, Coach Crabtree's going to go back, and he probably saw it right there, but he's going to see this in film later after he watches this game. The offensive line was perfect right there. Your fullbacks, your tight ends, everybody found their assignment, allowed Swafford to find some space with an 8-man box and go out there and make it 2nd and short.
5:10 to go, opening quarter. Beech trails 6-0. Oh, my, lowering the shoulder was Powell, the quarterback. 6'3", 240 coming right at you. A little truck stick action for the video gamers out there, Casey. That bruising run gives Beech a fresh set of downs at the 24.
Well, to kind of piggyback off your football reference, the college football video game reference there, it was one of those midline options. They got a lot of eye candy going left and right, and then your big quarterback just takes it right up the middle and lowers his shoulder. That's good football.
And East Nashville's got some big, strong defenders, but Powell's a hefty kid in his own right. Traditional give back up the middle to Swafford. I like what Beech is doing up the middle here, kind of peppering the Eagles up front. And that tote yields about 6 yards.
Well, and that's why that 4-yard hitch route to Jeremy Laster on the first play of the game gets you 20. Because if you can get 8 yards up the middle against an 8-man or a 9-man box, then the outsides get a lot more open. So I agree. I love what Beech is doing right here. Just kind of really enforcing their will in the middle of the field, and that allows the rest of the field to really open up for the Buccaneers offense.
4:05 to go, opening quarter. Beech turned it over on downs on their opening possession, trying to draw level or maybe even take the lead here. Play fake, and calling his own number again is Powell, and now there's a massive humanity, about 8 bodies, just churning and leg driving closer and closer toward the end zone. Powell is finally at the bottom of that heap, and he's down to the 9-yard line. That's a massive pickup on another first down here.
He is a big kid, I wanted to look up and see what position he played for baseball. He's going to be an outfielder, a right-handed pitcher, and a first baseman, which kind of makes sense. He does not look like a shortstop or a catcher. He is a big-bodied kid, 6'4". This says 250. I'm not exactly sure if he's 250, but he's every bit of 6'4", and he is big.
Give to Swafford. Too easy. Right up the middle for the touchdown. The Bucs have tied the ball game. 3:21 to go in the opening quarter. After that opening play, as Casey called it, on the sideline, a 20-yard pass pickup, they just kind of battered and bruised the Eagles, smashing and clubbing their way, and finally it's Swafford galloping in from 9 yards out, tied up at 6-6 with 3:21 to go here in the first.
And again, that entire drive was really fun to watch, just from I feel like an old man, just watching it just run right up the middle. Your offensive line, your tight ends, your fullbacks again. I'm talking about assignments. Ooh,
This PAT is blocked, and it fell in the hands of an East Nashville player. And he falls to the turf. And so just when you thought things were back on Beech's terms, we're level. 6-6 is your score. A couple of missed PATs, the only real blemishes in what has been an electric ball game thus far. 6-6 when Casey and I return right after this. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage, brought to you all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Welcome back, folks. Alongside Casey Patrick, Wade Neely saying hello. Great start to this ball game. East Nashville scored on its opening possession. Beech turned it over on downs, but then forced a quick punt. Scored on their second possession. Here's the kickoff. This play will come back with a penalty, but a monster kickoff for Cortez Murphy, who started all the way on his 9-yard line, the complete opposite far side of the field. He ends up around the 40 on this near side, rushing toward us. And none of that is going to count because we got a holding penalty against the Eagles.
When it was a squib kick, too, so as soon as it left the foot of the kicker, I had no clue where it was at. That thing was just jumping across the field.
We'll sort it out here.
It looks like we got 2 flags on the field. It's probably the same thing.
Crackback block, the official ruling here. Casey, we haven't heard from him yet, but at halftime, we always like to, provide a little extra sizzle here. Our good friend and Main Street Media colleague Blaine Keller set to join us at the break.
I see him down there on the field, too.
Where's he at?
He's right down there right behind the photographer.
Okay,
right behind the referees.
Yep, I got him now.
He's next to the police officer. I think he wants the extra protection.
He's in the thick of things, per usual. We'll chat with Blaine at halftime. Here's a give, 1st and 10. Speedster out of the backfield here. Second time tonight we've seen a big play on 1st down. And that's number 28, Braden Smith. Casey, we did not call Braden Smith's name in warm-ups because we've yet to see Keith Johnson. You start to wonder, if he's inactive tonight because he's their leading rusher coming into this game. We've yet to even mention his name in terms of a tote. That is a big pickup there out to the 38.
Yeah, and I'm glad you figured out who it was because I did not see the number real well. But like you said, I'm kind of interested to wonder where Keith Johnson's at. I may go ask the coaches here in a minute.
About a 20-something yard pickup there. Ooh. As now Covington stutter steps. That buys him enough extra time to deliver a dart downfield out across the 50. And kind of sliding out of bounds is Damian Elder who brings it in.
Well, I tell you what, Covington just barely moved right there, and he had a few of the Beech defenders really, really concerned about which direction he was running.
Quickly giving. And that's another carry for the Eagles.
I've been really impressed with the Eagles' offense and how they've been able to move the ball on the ground and through the air. Again, like I said, I've seen Covington before. I know he can really throw it, but this offensive line is holding up really well against a really good Beech defense.
The Eagles looked fantastic on their opening drive. We still got 2:15 to go in the opening quarter. East Nashville hit 2 huge pass plays on its first drive. A little hot over the middle here, a quick slant. Too hot, as a matter of fact, over the head of the intended receiver. And now quickly, we got a 3rd down, 3rd and 6. Ball resting at the Beech 42-yard line for the Eagles here.
When that looked like it could have been an RPO, and I feel like Covington, he probably missed an opportunity there just to hand that one off to number 20, Jordan Van Leer. It looked like Van Leer had the blocking and the holes up the middle, but Covington tried to throw that ball just, like you said, a little bit hot over the middle and just a little bit high for the receiver here on the bottom.
3rd and 6. Covington going deep. Incomplete, too deep. tried to twirl one down there toward number 9, Jayshawn Taylor. And as quick as Taylor is, if Covington's goal tonight was to show off his arm strength, we get it. He's got it in spades. He has really dropped some impressive deep balls tonight, but that one was a little too far for his intended receiver.
Well, I'll tell you what, too, another play I liked on that one, River Bailey down here at the corner on the bottom side of the field, he had given up a little bit of space to the East Nashville receiver, but he ran him down and almost got to that ball.
Going for it here on 4th down. They'll go deep again. And incomplete. That ended up being a 50-50 ball by the time, and right on cue, there is River Bailey. Back-to-back times he was tested. Back-to-back times he comes up with great coverage. And Bailey was the closest one to hauling it in, but it hits the turf, and that's actually a good sign for Beech as they take over on downs. So both teams have turned it over on downs now. And this time it'll be the Bucks taking over at their own 42. Casey with 1:57 to go. This has been an electric first quarter.
Well, yeah, and Bailey's down there kind of mad at himself. He didn't come up with that ball, but that's 40 yards that he didn't come up with right there, so it's good that he didn't.
Play fake up the middle. And quarterback keeper yet again, Caden Powell, just shredding. And we've seen some elite interior defensive linemen for East Nashville over the years. And they might be there right now, and they might develop. But right now, the road graders for the Bucks have their team marching. That's a first down out to the 38.
And they're going fast, too. The Buccaneers know this offense is working. It may be right up the middle again.
Play fake. Pass in the slot. That's caught. Hauled in. Floating up there and making the grab was Laster, who made a great catch on the opening play of the last drive. He makes another big grab here, and Beech is really cooking. They have it 1st and goal at the 9-yard line with $1:20 to go here in this first quarter.
I tell you what, if Powell throws that about 5 yards further and a little bit more air underneath it, Laster's celebrating with a touchdown right now. But either way, they'll take a first down at the 9. Powell, again, has been really solid to start this game.
Give up the middle. Speaking of interior defense, good pursuit right up the gut right there. Kevontae Pitts, not a lineman by any means, but he comes flying down from his free safety position and makes the stop. Big stop there for the Eagles for a loss of 2.
Well, and them being able to run the ball up the middle, again, like I said, I thought they were going to a second ago, and Powell found Laster for about a 30, 25-yard gain. That's what that running does up the middle for you. It opens the rest of the field. So they're going to line up in this long eye again. I'm kind of interested to see if they do a little bit of a rollout here and use Powell's legs.
And another give up the middle. East Nashville might be tuned into our broadcast partner. They're showing a little backbone here up the middle all of a sudden, and this is a massive front for the Beech offensive line. And East Nashville with back-to-back stops, and that probably will take us to the end of the first quarter. Yeah, both teams are trickling toward their respective sidelines. What a quarter it has been, folks. East Nashville strikes first. Beech responds, and Beech is looking for more. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 11 in this game that's tied 6-6. Casey and I come back with second quarter action from Beech High School right after this. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage presented by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Second quarter begins with a handoff. There goes Swofford. Beech has the ball, looking for its first lead of the night. East Nashville on 3rd and goal from the 11 has at least kept them out of the end zone. Do you roll the dice again if you're Coach Crabtree? We saw them go for it on 4th down earlier.
I don't think the kicker is even close to the field, and Caden Powell's walking back out there with a play. They got 4 yards to go. You got to think they're going to leave it in 13th hands. But Thomas Mendoza, during warm-ups, we talked about this. He was kicking it. I mean, he could make it from just about anywhere he wanted. He was kicking 40-yarders that were clearing that goalpost pretty easily. But they're going to line back up for 4th down here in that long I.
Maryland I formation. My old broadcast colleague Steve Pierce, where you at? We call this the smokestack I. Couple of tight ends, couple of blocking backs, and a couple of yards on a delay of game penalty coming your way.
Well,
maybe that was by design. Maybe you don't like the angle for your kicker.
Powell's got his hands out. He's saying, what are we doing?
No, yeah, you're right, because the offense is staying out there.
At this point, I mean, I believe I'd kick the field goal because you do have 4th, and I mean, nine's a pretty long place to go. But I will say, if you don't get it here, you leave East Nashville kind of deep in their own territory. But you don't want to put the ball back in Covington's hand. I think you'd go for the lead here, but I'm no football coach. Oh, they're going to take a timeout. Okay.
Let's see what the decision will be for Coach Anthony Crabtree coming out of the timeout. Penalty makes it 4th and 9. Casey and I will take a quick break. We're early in the second quarter. 6-6. East Nashville and Beech are locked up here in Sumner County. We're back after this here on Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage presented by our good friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
We don't want to say cooler heads have prevailed, but after a delay of game made it 4th and goal from the 9, Coach Crabtree will send out Thomas Mendoza. The left-footed kicker is out for a short field goal. And the snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good.
The train horn
that's
is
what,
good.
Yeah, that's what that their train horn indicates, folks. And so 9-6 is your new score after a short field goal there from Mendoza. We haven't seen too many field goals this year either.
No, and once he kicked that ball, I started worrying about my truck out in the parking lot. Because, like I said, Mendoza in pregame warm-ups, he was kicking 40-yarders that were making it clear past some of the body stuff out there. And it just – I mean, he can. He's got a leg on him. I think that one probably landed on top of the concession stand over there. But I think in week 1, I think they had Nate Crawl doing a lot of their kicking. But
right.
Mendoza, like I said, since we've been out here today, Mendoza's looked like he's the main leg.
11:03 to go here in the second quarter. Casey, did you see speaking of field goals, Jake Walker for Joe Burns? 59 yards last week versus East Robertson. I love this little nugget. It's the longest in Joe Burns' history. You know, no disrespect to any previous kickers, but, yeah, 59 yards feels like the longest in a lot of programs' history. Ensuing kickoff, this is not 59 yards, and it's going to be returned by East Nashville. They're all the way out across the 40, out across midfield, down to about the opposing 39. Ball looked like it might have popped loose at the very end, but a monster return. Mendoza kicking it deep, but not deep enough, and so fielding it at around the 8 and cutting up field. East Nashville trailing 9-6. First time they've trailed tonight. gets a big return, and they're right back in business.
Well, I think Nate Crawl was the one doing the kickoff there.
Correct, excuse me.
So, no, and that means it's just throwing me off because you got Mendoza, who I think he's got a pretty good leg. Crawl's got a good leg too, but just kind of confusing out there. But I'm glad you brought up Mr. Walker and his 59-yard field goal. I found that thing on Twitter, and I thought that was great.
It was a monster kick. First and 10 at the 40. Flag on the far side of the field. It was a short game for East Nashville.
It is on the East Nashville offense. I did not get to see what White Hat called. They may be declining it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right then.
Illegal shift. And it will be declined. Result of the play was about a yard pickup there. So East Nashville out to the Beech 39-yard line. They move right to left here in this second quarter. Alongside Casey Patrick and our producer Mark Rogers, Wade Neely saying good evening. 9-6 is your score. Pocket breaks down instantly. Covington steps up, looks downfield, now takes off downfield. Eludes one man. Second man got him by a shoestring and trips him up at around the 25-yard line, but there is a piece of laundry. And oh, man, East Nashville, that one will not be declined, as that was a monster pickup there. Covington freezing the defenders with a pump fake and then taking off. Plenty of yards for the first down. But the holding penalty, East Nashville will snap this ball just beyond the 50. They're at the Beech 49 now.
Well, and, you know, for the coaches, those scrambles probably kind of scare them because the offensive coach doesn't want a holding penalty. Defensive coach doesn't want to watch the quarterback run around the whole time.
Covington throws a slant, little BB right there. Dropped right into the breadbasket of Elder. And that gets them back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually gets them just a yard beyond that. So a third and manageable, all things considered here. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that passing play basically got them the penalty back. But, I mean, you know this is 4-down territory unless it's a sack or something. I assume East Nashville's probably going to get a few yards here. I'd probably run it twice with Covington. He can really get around.
He's going to roll toward his weak side. He's got a man wide open, and he finds him. Dumped it off toward the Beech sideline and stopped about a half-yard shy of the first down. Good job downfield running the route for Taylor, and good job by Covington of finding him. But he's about a half-yard shy of the first down. East Nashville up to the line quickly. They'll go 4th and inches. And in the backfield, Covington, he's got a stretch. It won't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4 different players flying to the football. Devin Crutcher was one of the ones that popped free, as well as number 6, Aiden Curry. You could tell East Nashville was trying to go quickly, and it looked like their offense was out of sync a little bit. Big loss, or big stop rather, and Beech takes over, leading this game 9-6.
Yeah, and usually I really do like the offense going fast there. You get the defense kind of on their heels. But you said it right. The Eagles' offense was kind of out of whack right there. And I'm actually surprised they didn't get a false start penalty. The running back was kind of leaning forward. But either way, Beech is going to take back over. And I like what they've been doing on offense lately.
Pass over the middle, incomplete. Intended for number 11, that's Caden Campbell.
I think one of those big defensive linemen for East Nashville may have got a finger on it. It looked like you said, number 11 right there. He had to slow down. Caden Campbell, he was looking for that pass, but he had to slow down, and then it was behind him. I think it may have been tipped, but I don't trust my vision, so if I was y'all, I wouldn't either.
Hey, you said it, not me, partner.
That's all right.
What you don't know is if I took these contact lenses out, I would not be able to see a thing, and that's if I were standing where Blaine Keller is, our good friend and colleague on the sideline there. Speaking of Blaine, he's set to join us at halftime. We'll pick his brain on what's going on. Has this been a whale of a game? 9-6, Beech leads. A little tote right up the middle there.
I believe it was Swafford again, and I think he hit every button on the controller. He was juking, and I think he had a spin move in the middle of it, and he did a lot of work to only get 5, but getting 5 right there with that kind of box from the defense is a really good job from Swafford.
Rocking and rolling here as Powell throws one. That is caught. And one man is on the turf for East Nashville. Good job of eluding the tackle. Man, Jeremy Laster has made 3 terrific, crucial grabs in this game for Beech. And a fresh set of downs out across midfield. He's finally pushed out at the East Nashville 37.
Well, and again, I know I've said this probably 4 or 5 times already, but when you run the ball as well as they do between the tackles, it allows you to open up the rest of the field, and that's a scary proposition for Jeremy Laster if you're East Nashville, because he is so fast and he's really hard to tackle in open space.
A 25-yard pickup there, maybe a little more. Powell fakes a big bruising run, and at the end of it, DeMontez Anderson. East Nashville's got some real kind of headhunters in the secondary. We haven't called Anderson's name, but 6'3", 180 pounds senior. He comes flying up to make the stop against a hefty quarterback in Powell.
Yeah, and, I love Powell putting his head down and going and getting yards there, but I think if he just hands that thing off to Swafford runs into the parking lot. He had all kinds of space out there to the left. But either way, 2nd and 5 coming up, so not a bad spot for the Buccaneers.
Bucks leading 9-6, but looking for more. They do give to Swafford, and he is just tripped up. He's going to be close to the first down. Could have had a whole lot more, but a right arm just came flying out of nowhere and tripped him up. He tried to hurdle a downed lineman there, and when he went to hurdle, somebody just got a hold of his ankle. Sets up 3rd and 2. Big play coming up for the Bucks, who lead this game by 3.
Well, I don't know how many yards that ankle tackle saved, but it was at least a first down, and I'm not real sure who it was. But like you said, they just lifted that hand up and force Beech into a 3rd down instead of just giving them another set of downs.
7:02 to play till halftime. Smokestack high. Powell turns around. He barely got the handoff off. And there's just a mass of humanity. I believe that was to D.K. Williams, who's a load in his own right, 198 pounds. I can give him a few more than that, but he's listed at 6 feet tall as well, and he's just shy, 4th and inches.
4th and inches, and I don't know what's about to happen, but I would hand the ball off to D.K. Williams.
Seems like you could do worse.
You definitely could do worse.
6:20. They stay in this Maryland eye here. And Powell, kind of an odd snap, but a kind of a designed quarterback sneak in a sense. He sneaks over the left side of the line, picks up plenty of yards, only needed 1. He picked up about 6 right there. Unconventional, but it works there. Fresh set of downs for the Bucks, who lead this game 9-6 halfway through the 2nd quarter.
Well, the defense thought what I thought. I think every one of them were looking for D.K. Williams, and Powell just took the ball, and he found the hole for the first down and just kind of kept falling forward for 6.
Powell now going to load, going to throw, got a man, got a touchdown! Beautiful play design as the tight end, Owen Knight, just slipping and rolling to his right, perfectly in sync with his QB, Powell, who drops it right into his breadbasket for the touchdown. But there's a penalty down.
Oh. I started writing down the score and everything.
Casey was writing down the score. They're flickering the lights. The train horn goes off, and the official.
Are dancing, people running around with flags, everything.
Gorgeous play. Powell with a quick play action. Short roll, short waggle, if you will, to his right. And then a beautiful route, again, to the tight end, Owen Knight. And it's coming back.
I hate that I started writing that down. Now I got to mark it out.
And that's in pen, folks.
Yeah. Should have brought a pencil. It'll be pencil next week.
Nah, life's too short to go with pencil. Let's just keep
Start
the
marking
pen.
it.
5:45 to go. Beech still leads this ball game 9-6. They trailed 6-0. Powell calls his own number yet again. There's a good-looking carry up the middle for the QB. And a good tackle. Tyler Fleming. There's one of those interior linemen for the Eagles. 6 foot, 212. We mentioned in our pregame, folks, East Nashville was 3A royalty. 3 straight runner-up finishes in 3A from 21 to 23. They took a year off, as it were, last year. Didn't reach the championship game. But now they're in 2A football. So if you're a 2A squad, buckle up.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
This pass incomplete, real quick, tossed in the flat.
That's my fault, Wade. I didn't even see that play start, but I wouldn't want to play this team in 2A. East Nashville, like you said, they've had a lot of success in 3A, so you can't assume that's going to go anywhere. They have had a slow start to this season, but this is a good football team, and they're showing it tonight.
More on East Nashville in just a second. Beech with the ball and the lead, 9-6. East Nashville fell 32-27 at home to Antioch last week. Here's a pass. Kind of a jump ball. And a little wheel route of sorts for Caden Campbell. He was open. He had to tiptoe near the sideline, but he couldn't haul it in, and it was just beyond his fingertips. Pocket broke down, and Powell just kind of almost threw a little bit of a jump ball there. And so it's 4th and 15. The ball is resting at the 27.
It's going to be Nate Krall again instead of Thomas Mendoza. I don't know. I guess maybe Krall's got the bigger leg, but Mendoza's got a good one too. But Krall's going to come out here for what looks like about a 44-yard kick.
Yep, 44-yarder from the right side hash. Out of the hold of Curry. Kick is away, well short. Bounces right on the in the end zone. That spells out Buccaneers here. And the touchback, man, Beech was right there knocking. They still lead 9-6. But that is a big stop for East Nashville, who now takes over with 4:52 to go till halftime. And remember, folks, East Nashville got the ball first. So if they could somehow regain the momentum and the lead going into halftime, that would be massive considering they're set to kick it off.
Yeah, and Beech right there, I'm kind of interested to see if Mendoza gets the next field goal opportunity. But I didn't hate what Coach Crabtree did right there. It's kind of rough on the Buccaneers offense. Take that touchdown away from them with that holding penalty. But I think the Eagles are doing a really good job right now keeping themselves in this game. They got an opportunity to go down here and take the lead.
4:52. Tote on the right side. That is way off in the distance. But I believe that's number 28, Brandon Smith. And again, we have not called the name of number 2, Keith Johnson, tonight. Team's leading rusher entering the contest. But Smith and a cast of characters, as it were. A couple of backups have done a good job of toting the football. Picks up 8 yards there.
Well, I've been trying to see if I can find number 2 on the sideline over there, but I haven't even seen his number. So, like I said, I'm probably going to go ask some of the East Nashville coaches over here in the press box later to figure out what's going on.
Try began at the 20 after the missed field goal gave him the touchback. And a second carry. How about the Beech interior defensive line bowing up a little bit here? Back-to-back stops. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4 now, beg pardon.
When the clock becomes interesting now, too, because, Beech might start to think about some timeouts, which, you still got 3rd down. And, East Nashville hadn't given up the ball yet, but a lot of things going on right now.
3rd and short. There's a pass. Little hook route right in the middle of the field. That pass is caught. Good route, good catch, good run after the catch for the Eagles, which means penalty flag.
Oh,
but it's against the Bucs, roughing the passer. I was going to be disappointed because that was a beautifully executed play on 3rd and short there. Hauling it in over the middle was Victor Iriogbe, the tight end. 5'11". No weight listed. I give him 200 pounds. He looked pretty good on that catch right there. And the 15-yard penalty on roughing the passer. We know East Nashville can go in the blink of an eye. They have tons of time now. 4:04 as they cross midfield at the Beech 43-yard line. Here's Smith stretching this play out, and the horizontal run. That allowed Beech to flow downfield. 4 different players got to the ball carrier by the time it was all said and done. D.K. Williams leading the pack. Also, Maverick Hanks, one of the team's top linebackers, in on the tackle. It's going to set up 2nd and 13 here.
Maverick Hanks, the younger brother of Bronco Hanks, the Beech's leading tackler, I believe, in program history. But a stretch run there for, I think that may have been Van Leer. It's going to be hard to run stretches against this defense.
Covington loading up, going deep, jump ball, end zone.
Oh, my goodness.
Intercepted! Intercepted! The only question will be, is it in the end zone or at the 1? But that is a fantastic interception.
I think they're going to give him down at the 1-yard line. Caden Powell down here is he's out. He was asking for a touchback, but I believe this Buccaneers offense is going to have to go 99 yards. Jump around.
Trying to, was that our guy River Bailey?
Lord of mercy, I didn't even look at the number. I was watching the throw, and both of them went up. I wasn't sure who got it, but Beech come up with it. That was a really great play from the defender. I think it was River Bailey. That's been the side he's been covering all night. But I'd hate to take away an interception from anybody else out here.
That's either River Bailey or Brock Miller, another senior DB. We'll try and confirm that at halftime with Blaine when he joins us. 3:16 to go. But this is an interesting situation, and Beech runs out of the shotgun. And Powell, a little pursuit, but he does elude danger and does pick up a yard or two. Good job by East Nashville just cutting right up field. Kind of knifing through there was number 23, Chauncey Anthony, the linebacker.
Yeah, Caden Powell did everything he could to get himself out of the end zone and give him a little bit of breathing space right there. But, Powell just kind of stretched his arm out just to get the 3 or 4 yards he did get.
Beech leads this game 9-6. They have the football. But the ball, after the interception, was spotted at the 1-yard line. This will be a drive for the ages. Crutcher will get the ball. The fullback with a rare tote there. 5'7", 186-pound H-back, as it were. And now all of a sudden, though, it's 3rd and 6. East Nashville still got all 3 timeouts. And Beech pretty conservative on this play call. Run up the middle for Swafford. Bottled up. And we've seen Coach Crabtree get pretty aggressive here.
He's sending out quite a few others.
Looks like a punt unit trotting out. Thought we might see the offense stay on the field and try and maybe get a freeze situation.
Well, the Buccaneers with 3 runs right there, they weren't extremely aggressive. I kind of wish that's what Brian Callahan would have done last Sunday. But either way, Crabtree's going to send out his punt team. I don't know why East Nashville's not taking a timeout here.
Beech runs it all the way down to 1 second. They kick it. There's 90 seconds left in the half. East Nashville catches it on a bounce. And the ball pops free. And it's still loose. And it's still loose.
Oh,
there's 8 people diving on it back at the East Nashville 45. The return man, and East Nashville maintains possession, but only barely.
How did Beech not come up with that ball? D.K. Williams looked like he jumped right on it.
It was a borderline scoop and score right there. East Nashville picking it up cleanly, knifing through a would-be tackler. But the second man, like a heat-seeking missile, just locked right onto the football with the helmet, knocking it clean out of the possession of East Nashville. And then a melee as the ball rolls backwards a couple of times. East Nashville still with plenty of time. They take over with $1:20 to go till half. Beech leads this game 9-6 from their own 45. Covington, beautiful touch pass out to the 50. Now out to the 42. And you would think East Nashville would, even as quick as they go, you would think maybe a timeout.
They're just going to keep them and take them all at halftime, I guess.
It's working right now, though. Covington has shown a great arm, but there was great touch. Now he goes back for the howitzer out of the pocket there, and that one, a little flag route. Pass sails over the head of the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock stop, 54 ticks until the halftime break here, and 2nd and 10 from the Beech 42.
Well, and Covington, when he throws it, the ball just flies out of his hand. It's really smooth motion, and he's got a really strong arm. But something interesting happening down here. I see Sawyer Phillips was warming up a minute ago, and Caden Powell was not very – he was having an interesting conversation with one of his coaches.
This ball is caught on the near sideline, East Nashville, and tucked out of bounds at the 34, beg pardon. Cortez Murphy hauling it in. Beech's defense has played great tonight. East Nashville's offense has been very crisp as well throughout the course of this first half.
When realistically, flags are the only thing that's really keeping these offenses from really showing off tonight, and the defenses have done a really good job of trying to slow them down. There's a lot of good football being played on both sides right now. Oh, Lord.
Was just getting ready to say 3rd and 1, 48 seconds, but it's going to be 3rd and 6 now. As many as 6 different East Nashville players. There's a false start, and then there's what we just witnessed right there. That was a collective team false start almost.
It's like that. It's that old. I don't know if you've seen the clip or not, but the referee goes, "Everybody but the center." That's kind of what it looked like right there.
It was not too far from that. East Nashville, though, has converted some tricky situations. Here we go again. 3rd and 6. Pocket breaks down. Covington eludes a would-be tackler and then airmails a throw there. Over the head of his intended target, Osei Bonsu, who had that great catch on the opening drive of the ball game.
And Osei Bonsu was about 5-10 yards away from everybody else on the field, but Covington had a little bit too much mustard on that one. It was about I want to say about 8 foot over his head. And now East Nashville takes a timeout with the clock not running.
They're going to talk things over here.
They do have 4th and what looks about 6 coming up, so I don't hate the timeout here to kind of make sure you're all on the same page.
For those that just tuned in, East Nashville won the toss, elected to receive, immediately marched down the field and scored 80 yards in 6 plays. 2 huge pass plays. One we mentioned to start the game, 35 yards to Osei Bonsu, and then the second one, a 33-yard drop in the bucket to Cortez Murphy for the touchdown. PAT was no good. Beech answers, makes it 6-6 on a Swafford 9-yard score. And then a short field goal from Mendoza. That's been your scoring here in the first half. Can East Nashville dial up a little magic? It's 4th and 6. The ball's at the 38. You're definitely out of field goal range here.
Whitehat's pointing at something. I'm not real sure what. Oh, they want more on the clock, I guess?
Yeah, resetting the play clock here. Biggest play of this first half, perhaps. East Nashville still with 2 timeouts. Should they convert this? 41 seconds to go till the break. Man in motion to the right. Pocket breaks down for Covington. He eludes one. He's free. Covington galloping down across the 30, and he has the first down. 2 different Bucks had their fingertips to him, and Covington just spins out of danger both times and then gallops down the sideline, almost taunting the Beech Bucks, who can do nothing but watch as he picks up a monster first down and extends the drive.
He's so smooth, too, and poised back there in the pocket that, the pressure 2 guys in the backfield get to him. He doesn't let it bother him. He just makes him miss, go get the first down.
A little bit of a low snap. Covington. That pass tipped and intercepted. There is a flag.
Yes, Wade. There is a flag, and it is a good flag.
The pass, it was about a 10-yard deep slant. Thrown into a tight window. But it was on target, but it was tipped right at the last moment, and the tip allowed a DB to, I believe, make a clean interception, but there was a penalty that was launched.
Well, I know some of the local folks here in the stands are not happy with that call, but that's the right call. You get there early. The corner just makes a little bit of early contact. Ball pops up. Safety made a really nice play to come in and intercept that thing. I believe that was number 6, Aiden Curry. But either way, I mean, it's a flag, and it was the right call.
Out of the shotgun, Covington skips this one on the ground. 23 seconds to go. East Nashville still with 2 timeouts. Beech has 2 timeouts for what that's worth. Plenty of time here for the Eagles, who do not have as strong of a kicking game as the Bucks, but you're in range, hypothetically. A short field goal is doable here that could maybe tie the game, but let's see how aggressive they get. They got plenty of time. 2nd and 10 from the Beech 13. Covington takes the shotgun snap, looks right, going to dart left and cruise into the end zone. He looked to his right for a nanosecond, but he sensed that acres of space were there to the left, and his senses were 100% dead on as Dallas Covington rumbles in untouched 13 yards, and East Nashville retakes the lead just before halftime.
Well, and I was gonna start saying just a few things about Covington right there. That last incomplete pass, his footwork was a little bit off, and it kind of led to the inaccuracy on that pass. But then the next play, before I could even say anything, he shows off the same footwork and gallops into the end zone. Kid's really talented. He's really, really talented. He's going to be out there as the holder too. I'm interested to see how this. That's good. That's a good kick.
Yeah, that PAT's up and good. First one was not the prettiest effort, but this one a little stronger. And I believe that is Brian Eckert, senior kicker. Showing love to the kickers there. 5'9", 160-pound senior. Casey, we knew this would be a hard-fought contest. And we talked that, a 2A school, 500 students with East Nashville, 14-plus 100 students for Beech. Can't really factor that in when you're talking about the talent and the pedigree that East Nashville's got. And this first half has delivered it in some. 13-9. Hadn't been the prettiest game at times, but it's been thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, and these two teams are I think they're a little bit more evenly matched than even I thought they were coming into the matchup. Dallas Covington has been I think he's been worth the price of admission for East Nashville, and so has Caden Powell. It's been for Beech. I know Powell's not happy with that last offensive drive, but he's been good today.
And this kickoff is muffed, but Beech recovers. Now they've got a crease out across the 30, out across the 35-40, pushed out of bounds at around their own 45-yard line. Powell's got a big league arm. Beech has got 2 timeouts remaining. You got 7 seconds left.
I think so.
But, yeah, we see Sawyer Phillips. At least I believe we see Phillips.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, there he is. We saw him in week 1. Again, this is our second crack at broadcasting the Bucks.
And Powell's shaking his head. I don't think he's happy. I don't think he has an issue with Sawyer playing, but I don't think he's happy with this particular decision with 7 seconds left.
Phillips looking to his right. He rolls to his left. Ooh, and he is dropped. No gain on the play. And that's how the half comes to an end. 13-9 is your score in this first half. Casey, Beech gave up 2 monster pass plays on their opening drive. East Nashville led 6-0. But from then on, the Bucks kind of controlled the vast majority of this first half until this last drive when we saw Covington do Covington things, using those spidey senses, as we mentioned a moment ago, and scampering to pay dirt. East Nashville reclaims the lead just before the break in an entertaining contest at 13-9.
Yeah, and I think Beech and Coach Crabtree, I think he'll be happy with a lot of the things that he saw in the first half from his team, but East Nashville's ability to hit the big play, and I think mostly that's because Covington and his ability to kind of create plays. I think that's what they're kind of hone in on. Beech has controlled this game for most of the game, but East Nashville leads because of their ability for the big play. And we talked about the big play on the first drive. We talked about Covington's scramble for the touchdown there at the end. Covington's not the only guy that's got the Eagles rolling forward right now, but he's really helping them hit on those big plays, which have them in the lead right now.
East Nashville leads this game. It has been entertaining as we could have hoped, folks. 13-9 your score in Sumner County as it's the Eagles on top of the Bucks. Casey and I are back in just a matter of moments with more halftime coverage as you are listening to the Main Street Preps Game of the Week here on the campus of Beech High School, presented all season long by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental. Back after this.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it. But it's everywhere. Illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
What are you doing out there?
Come on!
I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Tennessee.
Halftime coverage rolling right along here on Main Street Preps Game of the Week. Action, we're on the campus of Beech High School where the visiting East Nashville Eagles lead this contest 13-9. Alongside Casey Patrick and our producer Mark Rogers, Wade Neely saying good evening. We're joined now. We told you guys he'd be settling in with us here at halftime. The one and only our good friend, Main Street Media colleague Blaine Keller is in the building. Blaino, how we doing?
Wade, I'm a little shocked. To be truthful with you at this score, I think a lot of people are, but East Nashville is playing well and deserves to have the lead at this point, both offensively and defensively.
It's been a fun half, right? I mean, we saw East Nashville come out and really go attack the Beech secondary on the first drive. 2 nice long completions, one of which was a touchdown. Beech kind of controls the game for the middle stages, we'll call it, the first half, but then in the blink of an eye, we saw East Nashville reclaim the lead right before the break.
I think what I've been hearing on the sidelines and on the field is, the talk that East Nashville's receivers are maybe winning this battle right now against the secondary of Beech, but I think a lot of that goes back to the pressure that Beech hasn't really been able to generate with its defensive line. They're down a couple of players, already a unit that needs to show a lot of growth at the start of the season. So East Nashville's really taken advantage of that. They've given protection to Dallas Covington. And listen, any secondary is going to have trouble when you're having to defend for 7, 8, 9 seconds, or you're going to have to change from a coverage route to attacking the quarterback when he's scrambling like he did at the end of the half.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Covington, we talked about his wheels. We certainly talked about his arm. Being down on the field level, can you kind of just put into context how quick this guy is, especially with his decision-making? On that touchdown, he looked right, and it felt like in the blink of an eye he already knew that he was going left for the touchdown.
Yeah, I think part of that, too, is just how that drive unfolded. Because he had that 4th and 6 where he's looking and looking and looking for his receivers. I think a couple plays later he realizes I can't wait that long this time. I have to just go and attack, take the scramble, take what I can get, and it turned into a touchdown. I've been really impressed with how Covington's played so far. His receivers have really helped him out. But also he's had some low snaps. He's had some plays where the protection hasn't held up, and he's made plays on his behalf to keep his team ahead.
As we kind of further dissect this, obviously a talking point with Casey and I in that first half toward the end. We knew there would be some sort of continued quarterback rotation, it seemed like. Kind of walk us through that process as we saw Powell get lifted right at the very end with Sawyer Phillips on that final play for Beech.
I've talked with Anthony Crabtree a lot about this in the preseason, in the offseason, and now during the season, that they feel comfortable playing both Caden Powell and Sawyer Phillips in any circumstance. They want to play these guys at the same time. Now, do both of those guys like that dynamic? It's a bit of a challenge,
right,
especially here early. Sawyer did not get a whole lot of reps during the Henry County game a week ago. Of course, that one impacted a lot by weather. But I think with his skill set, he's got a rocket arm. If you watch the tape against Green Hill and what he's been able to put on the field so far, when he has time to throw, he can load it up and it goes a long way. So I think that was the decision-making in that last sequence. Of course, he takes the sack, and I think on all accounts that's not what you want at the end of the half there. But they wanted to give Sawyer at least a look going into the break, and who knows how they might attack it coming out, because Caden Powell led some good drives, but they stalled. You stalled with a field goal. You stalled with a missed field goal. Maybe part of the rationale also was that let's see if Sawyer can lead us to a touchdown.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. We've seen some great power running, especially with Powell kind of facilitating that, but they haven't been able to fully punch it in. Just the one touchdown, just the one field goal. We saw, some special teams miscues with the missed PAT and the missed field goal. One other kind of hidden thing, and this has been an issue for both teams, but what can you tell us about the penalty situation? We've seen some kind of uncharacteristic penalties, it feels like, from Beech thus far.
Yeah, one of the weirder ones that I thought was the delay of game penalty down here, that they decide to stay on the field, and then they're going to go for it. I pull up my notes here. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, so then they have a 7-yard pickup on 3rd and 11. They've got it 4th and 4. They bring the offense out. They take the delay of game penalty. The offense stays out for a second, and then it's Thomas Mendoza to kick the field goal. Feels like on 4th and 4, with how the rushing attack has been for Beech, how it has been tonight for Beech, they could have picked up 4 yards that deep in East Nashville territory, probably could have gotten a touchdown score. And at that point, this is a little bit of a different ballgame.
As we sit here with Blaine Keller, who's covering the game tonight for Main Street Preps and all of our Main Street properties. Blaine, we always love to ask this of our guests, too. Tonight's Thursday night. Just the opening night of high school football, really. Tell us where we can find you tomorrow night and where we can read more of your stuff as the weekend continues.
And where you can find me Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There's a lot of great things happening here in Sumner County, as well as Main Street Nashville. Tomorrow night I will be at Franklin Road Academy for their game against JP2. Coach Rock Batten back in Nashville, back in the D2 realm. He goes up against former JP2 coach Justin Geisinger and Hudson Holman, who was the quarterback for JP2 a year ago. that'll be a fun little note to watch out for on Friday. You can see that on Main Street Preps and Main Street Nashville. Saturday, Tennessee State goes up against Alabama A&M. We'll have coverage of that one, just as we have the other 2 TSU games to this point. Sunday, it's the Titans home opener. With Terry McCormick, I'll have coverage on Titan Insider with that. Also, a Nashville SC notebook. I've got to somehow fill that in somewhere. Find time for that. And the Green Wave Coaches Show on Tuesday with Gallatin coach Michael Strapp.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, partner.
I got to catch a breath and do some home renovations, too, in the midst of all that.
Now, that sounds like the most stressful, perhaps, of all of that slate that you just mentioned there. Since you and I are talking, we'll both be at Nissan on Sunday. Kind of a discouraging or disappointing, I guess, performance from the Titans, but hope springs eternal when you are back at home, even though a really good Rams team is coming into the crib on Sunday.
Yeah, and when you've got Cam Ward, based on, if you look beyond the box score, if you look at how he played last Sunday, you could see that there's a lot of cause for optimism for the number 1 overall quarterback. Is there a lot of optimism for the head coach in his second season? I think that's the bigger question right now that the Titans, the players, and their front office are trying to figure out.
It's going to be an interesting weekend, to say the least. And Blaine, amidst all of your assignments, we thank you for taking some time to carve up and chop up with us here at the break. Best of luck in the second half, partner.
Glad to do it, guys. Hey, one more note, and I've been following this all game long. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I need to see some more passing yards. Caden Powell now about 21 yards unofficially from the all-time Beech passing mark. 134 if you don't count the no contest from a week ago, so that's closer to 50-some-odd yards. He would have had it on the touchdown pass back here that was called for holding. I had it teed up and everything. Twitter was pulling up. Then I see the laundry on the field. And I go back, and I always say this because I saw Gallatin's quarterback who set the all-time mark walking up here. He set it in a loss last year for Gallatin, the all-time passing mark there. And there's nothing worse than trying to talk to a kid after he's made history and he's tore up about a loss. We don't need that tonight. From the Hendersonville Standard perspective, we need Caden Powell to start slinging it.
From the Hendersonville Standard standpoint, we want a Beech win and we want the record.
That'll get the views. Yep.
I love it. From East Nashville, we'll get back to you on the rest. Blaine Keller, thank you so much for joining us, partner. We'll see you real soon.
Thanks.
That was Blaine Keller doing all the things here for us at Main Street Media, but most importantly, being our good friend and taking some time to join us here at the break. Casey is back in the booth. Whenever we come back, we will continue halftime coverage here. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's been a whale of a contest here tonight. As at the break, East Nashville with a 13-9 lead here up in Sumner County. We're back after this. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Delta Dental.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
Busy Bee, yeah, Busy Bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
333.
Bee, oh, Busy Bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy Bee, oh,
Busy Bee. Guys.
Call 775-7833.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Timeout! All right! Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the TSSAA and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Being in Tennessee, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible, so we have an entire section of our menu that is just dedicated to local whiskeys like Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, Nelson Brothers, Greenbrier whiskey, and all of our taps are all local. From 2 o'clock until midnight, we've got food every day for you guys. A good handful of appetizers, some entrees, and a couple salads and things like that. My name is Ethan Kanana. Please come down and see us at the Pick Lobby Bar here at the Omni in Nashville.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing weather report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
As we welcome you back in, folks, you're listening to Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage presented all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and our friends at Delta Dental. Alongside Casey Patrick, our producer Mark Rogers, we just heard from Blaine Keller, Wade Neely saying hello. And Casey, I don't want to claim, I don't want to, just boast, but I might have set the land speed record, making it down to the restroom and back in record time here at Beech. But a little bit winded because there's a lot of steps here. Gorgeous facility, but, man, they got the steps, so I got a little free workout in. But back and excited to be with you here for the second half in just a matter of moments, partner.
Well, and regardless of how fast you went, for the record, I can guarantee you every amount of money in my pocket that it was faster than me. I do not move very quickly at all. I don't even try to. I know I can't. If I do, it hurts. So I try to go slow.
I don't want to tout my own skills, but I passed Blaine and a good friend of ours, Tyler Palmatier, on the sidelines, and they both kind of turned and looked like, was that who I think that was? I was scooting down that sideline. Speaking of scooting, let's scoot across the scoreboard here in Main Street Preps land. This will shock you, but we've talked about this school earlier in our broadcast. A team that was in the way for a lot of schools, but especially for East Nashville. Those 3 straight state runner-up championships, or state runner-up finishes, that meant that one team knocked them off 3 years in a row, and that was Alcoa. They defeat Knoxville West tonight 35-0. Sorry, folks, if you thought Alcoa moving up to 4A, they were going to slow down. I guess, again, they improve again to 3-0 with that victory tonight. We told you guys a good 2-1 versus a good 2-1 matchup. Cascade, the hometown champions, are leading Eagleville at the break 14-0. And jump for joy. They'll be partying at Tammy's Outback if this score holds tonight, folks, because Lincoln County, the pit is rolling and roaring, and the Falcons lead Columbia Academy 35-7 in a game that is also at the break. So a couple of mid-state scores. And, Casey, we got a pretty good one here. I would argue we got the best one in the mid-state right now. 13-9 East Nashville with the lead, but Beech is right there at them.
Well, for Thursday night football, this is exactly where I'd want to be. This probably is one of the better matchups that you're going to see throughout probably the mid-state this whole week. So, 2 really good teams fighting tonight. I know that East Nashville's record probably doesn't show as good as they are, but they've played like a pretty good football team tonight.
Speaking of, Well, we'll hold that for 1 second as we got the second half kickoff. Again, East Nashville had to boot it to begin the second half. So Beech will put their mitts on the pigskin to begin the second half. And Chelton Swafford is out to around the 32 where this drive begins. And Casey, next week on September 18th, we usually like to do this at halftime, but we'll be just a couple minutes tardy here. Portland at Greenbrier will be our showdown next week.
Okay.
So the Bobcats, a little closer to your neck of the woods, too, so I'm going to rely on you for a little course knowledge next week. More on that later, but looking forward to bringing you guys some good ball. Here's a good throw out in the slot and hauled in by the Bucks and cruising upfield out across midfield. Is that? Oh, yeah, Jeremy Laster, folks. He's now made 4 outstanding grabs. All 4 of his catches tonight have been massive gains, and that one puts them right at the 50-yard line.
Well, and you know, Blaine was talking about that quarterback passing record. I think that pass to Laster right there got him quite a bit closer. He might be right at it right now, just a few yards away. So I think Powell's more locked in on trying to get the win right here.
I think so, too. And we saw him, you know, he was visibly frustrated at the end of the half when he went out for that very last series. This kid's a gamer.
Yeah, Kentucky baseball's getting him a good one, I think.
He calls his own number here. I found that part interesting from Blaine, too. He said it's roughly 21 yards, depending on your statistician, if you don't count last week's, or if you count last week's no contest that they had. And I was like, well, it was a no contest, so, yeah, it's not supposed to count. So, really, the number's closer to 50 yards. But he picked up about 18 or so on that opening catch. 2nd and 8. Again, East Nashville leads 13-9 here on Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage. Swafford, he took a big hit right up the middle. And we've told you guys a couple of times tonight, some of the safety play has been outstanding, and that's Cavante Pitts flying up from that strong safety position, making a big stop yet again. 3rd and 6 upcoming as Beech is just beyond midfield.
Well, I'd like 2 runs here from the Beech offense, but I'm glad you brought up the safeties. The safeties for both teams have been really, really good, coming up making plays both in the backfield and in the running game.
Mm-hmm.
I think both of the safeties have been big for both their teams.
Here's a pass thrown toward the sideline, and rising and catching that is Brock Miller.
I think there was an East Nashville defensive back trying to say it was an incomplete pass, but he's going to come down with it just a yard short of the first down marker.
Yeah, and Miller also got crumpled up kind of awkwardly at that play, and he, on the far sideline, is very slow, calling his own number to come off the field, though.
Yeah, he's not happy. He's hurting.
Miller made a great grab. He's just shy of the first down. Biggest play of this early second half here. East Nashville leads 13-9. The Bucks with the ball, though, 4th and inches from the Eagles' 40. And, oh, my. Oh, my. Penalty comes down, but it might not matter. I did the double oh, my, because Caden Powell had acres of space. Like the parting of the Red Sea almost, folks, just right up the middle. He had tons of real estate. The only person in the area kind of made a business decision, got out of his way. And a hanky came in for a face mask. Casey's called it correctly. So the touchdown will stand. Caden Powell from about 41 yards. 4th and short, and he just rumbles right up the middle. Blocked extremely well, and then his wheels did the rest. That is a monster response by the Beech Buccaneers here to begin this second half.
When we talked about the eye candy earlier, you've got guys going left and right, and I was kind of surprised you didn't see DK Williams in there for a short yardage situation. But Swafford, he doesn't get the ball, and Powell ends up keeping it there. But you've got Swafford going to the right, you got another guy in motion going to the left, and Powell just rumbles, like you said, through 2 people going for the end zone.
The hole was massive, and like I said, there was 2 different defenders kind of in the area. Only one with a real shot, and he gave a little bit of an effort. But Powell listed again at 6'3", 240 pounds. He got downhill in a hurry, and that's a big, big run and a big, big answer for Coach Crabtree and this Buccaneer coaching staff as Beech retakes the lead 16-13 after the PAT. And Casey, first half was entertaining. I don't really know why we should have expected anything different in the second. Off to a great start here. Now it's up to East Nashville to try and get a response.
Well, yeah, and honestly, for Beech, the only bad thing from that drive is Fuller, or excuse me, not Fuller, but Miller getting hurt down there on that one play. Other than that, the Buccaneers looked really solid, moving the ball through the air, on the ground, and they're gonna get the penalty here on the kick. You may see it. You may have an opportunity here for an onside kick. Who knows?
Yeah, this is prime territory, right?
I would.
The personal foul means that Beech tees this ball up at the East Nashville 45. Nate Krall will line up to kick this off. Yeah,
Krall looks like he's going to kick it.
I know you want to boot it deep, but I'm onside kicking this thing every time. And Krall winds up and drills it about 50 yards through the back of the end zone.
Hey, hit that poster over there behind the play clock. I'm not, again, I'm not a football coach, and I don't want to sit here and tell nobody what to do, but it just kind of it confuses me because you get the opportunity, you get down there, you can kick that onside kick, and who cares if East Nashville comes up with it? It's going to be somewhere around 35-yard line. So I get the fact that East Nashville starts on their 20, but we're talking about a difference of 15 yards for the offense here. So, I mean, I like the idea of the onside kick, but, again, I'm no football coach.
So 16-13. East Nashville going down. Brought down in the backfield. That is a way to start a second half defensively. D.K. Williams. Covington, who has been so elusive tonight, had nowhere to go. Williams just shot in there and dropped him in the backfield. Big loss to start this East Nashville drive.
When that goes to show you, maybe sometimes I should just be quiet. Kick the ball down there, let your defense play. But D.K. Williams, he's one of my favorite players out here on the field tonight between both teams. Of course, second time we've got to see him. He is a very talented football player.
16-13, Beech leads. East Nashville, though, beautiful deep ball. Knocked away. Knocked away on the far sideline. Good little one-on-one matchup. It was Damian Elder locked in a tight one versus number 22, River Bailey. Advantage Bailey, who's played well manning that far defensive back position.
Yeah, he's been locked down corner, I think, all night long. If you're East Nashville, you might look for ways to, maybe not look on his side of the field. Plus, you got the open side of the field to Covington's left here, and it looks like the defensive backs are kind of confused on where to go.
Third and long. Deep in route, and that pass is caught. Blaine told us at halftime it can be frustrating to have to wait 7, 8, 9 seconds for these longer routes to develop. At that time, it paid off as Damian Elder on a deep square in hauls it in, and he's out across the 40-yard line. All of a sudden, here come the Eagles. They're cooking.
Well, and Onsi Bonsu was on a post route over here on this side of the field, and I thought he had some space to make a play. I thought the original throw was bad, but Covington hit the guy underneath. Ooh. Lordy mercy. Who was that? Number 0, Barrett Brown just absolutely demolished Covington on that read option up the middle, but there's a little bit of a flag here anyway. They're discussing. They're trying to figure out which side it's on. Illegal. Nope. That's 2 face masks now in the last 5 minutes on East Nashville.
Going back, we mentioned Bailey a moment ago. It was officially credited the interception late in the first half. We were debating. It was Brock Miller that came up with that INT. And then we saw him make a great catch to begin the second half before he hobbled off with an injury, but wanted to tidy that up. Penalty makes this 1st and 25. 8.5 minutes to go. Deep ball. East Nashville is just letting it rip. And speaking of interceptions, that's a snag for the Bucks. Devin Crutcher. He's wearing 36. He's listed as a linebacker. Wouldn't know it, though. He plays it like a wide receiver, just tracking the East Nashville wide out the whole way and then turning around at the last moment, hauling in the deep ball interception. And the Bucs take over, leading 16-13 with 8:25 left here in this third quarter.
I'm going to tell you something. That's an impressive play from Crutcher, too, because he was playing. He is a linebacker. He's playing on the guy down here in the slot. Slot goes on a fade. He kind of goes on the outside down here close to the goal, or excuse me, to the sidelines. And Crutcher just running that ball down, making an excellent play. And Powell's going to come back out there to lead the offense again. I think after his little outburst there at the end of the second quarter, cooler heads did prevail for him. He's out there again, and he's really running this offense up and down the field now. I think that was Swafford on that first play.
We saw Beech really move the ball at will, even though they only produced 9 points. I saw him move the ball at will with runs up the middle for a good chunk of the first half. That power run game would serve them well here, leading 16-13, approaching the midway mark of the third quarter. A little razzle-dazzle, but it's basically a handoff right up the middle to Swafford, who needed 3. He got about 5. Fresh set of downs for the Bucs. They're moving left to right here in this third quarter.
Well, and this is a little early to talk about this, but it gives you a good idea later in the game. If Beech can get up here and they can just run the ball right up the middle for 5 yards of carry, if they can continue to hold this lead, it's going to be really good for them to be able to do that when they're trying to burn the clock. I don't think they're trying to burn the clock right now. I think they're still in full 100% offense mode. But up the middle, they're doing a whole lot of whatever they want for the most part.
Rolling to his right, Powell, incomplete. A late flag comes down in the area where the pass was thrown. Powell just held on to that ball a little too long. But there's roughing the passer that'll be called. Man, and East Nashville's kind of imploding a little bit here. Third key penalty they've already had in this third quarter.
Yeah, Aaron Evan got to him back there in the backfield. I didn't think it was roughing the passer, but I don't get to throw the flags anyway. But you're right. East Nashville kind of imploding. Over there right now, I think Coach Harris is going to have to do what he can to kind of rein in his guys and get them locked back in, because they can win this football game unless they continue to implode. That gives Beech a first down, and I mean they're doing everything right.
Bucs lead this game 16-13. East Nashville's led on 2 different occasions. Swafford pops loose. There's a flag that comes in, and this might go against the Bucs. Swafford looked like he was contained, bottled up just beyond the line of scrimmage, and then in the blink of an eye, he scoots outside, picking up about 25 yards, but it's coming back on a hold.
Yeah, and I had started to look away from the field. I thought Swafford was on the ground, but he kind of scooted out and made a few guys miss, and once he hit the Jets, he was really moving.
Kind of lulled the defense to sleep there, just went to his initial destination, and when he saw about 5 or 6 bodies kind of just, clunked up right there, he said, you know what, let me just scoot outside.
Well, I think they're going to give Swafford a second to maybe catch his breath after that play. You got D.K. Williams out there now in the backfield.
6:35 to go. We're still in the third quarter. Pump and go. Defense bit. There's the throw. There's the catch. There's the touchdown. And that is a well-deserved touchdown for Jeremy Laster, who has had some outstanding grabs in this ball game for Beech, and none prettier than that. A gorgeous pump and go. Powell sold it beautifully, freezing the defenders instantly, and just drops it right into the waiting arms of Jeremy Laster, 5'10", 145-pound sophomore who scampered some 15 extra yards to the house. Beech leads this game 22-13.
Well, and ever since Krall missed that extra point earlier, or the field goal earlier, Mendoza's been the one out there kicking. I say that, and he gets blocked as soon as I said that. But What a throw by Powell, and a great offensive play there. Like you said, they bit. I had my hands up for a touchdown before the ball even got down into Laster's hands, but excellent play call, excellent execution. I know Beech would have liked to add the extra point there to take a 10-point lead, but the Buccaneers are rolling.
(22-13). .6:27 to go. Alongside Casey Patrick and our producer Mark Rogers, Wade Neely saying hello. Casey coming up clutch tonight, folks. I say that because as quick as my run to the restroom was at halftime, he had a similar run to provide some liquid refreshment for us up here.
I don't move quick either. Oh, Lord.
Here's a slow developing return that's going to come back. Somehow, though, East Nashville's still on their feet on that far sideline.
You're right, though. I think the Eagles are imploding. You're going to get a crackback block right there. Kind of hate that for East Nashville because, they're making moves and moving the ball up the field, but just a few mistakes, they're shooting themselves in the foot.
East Nashville led this game again on 2 different occasions, including a massive go-ahead touchdown just before halftime. And Casey, it sounds simple, but you get the feeling that if East Nashville had came out, gotten a stop, didn't even necessarily need to score on their opening possession of the third quarter. If they had gotten a stop and kind of just resumed a little bit of status quo, we could really be onto something. But in the blink of an eye, Beech has totally seized control of this game. Largest lead of the night for either team. It's 22-13.
Well, I think we said this a few weeks ago, but basketball players or basketball coaches say this a lot. The first 5 minutes of the second half is very important, and it has not been good for the Eagles so far.
Here's a give right up the middle. And the scary thing also for East Nashville, too, they kind of threw some haymakers at Beech early, and if the Bucks were ever the team that were to be stunned, it would have been in that first half. But now all of a sudden, this Beech team, who lost on opening night but has won 2 in a row, they're growing with confidence every snap right now. Here comes somebody loose, blowing up. DK Williams blew the running back up, but the quarterback, Covington, was still able to get a throwaway. And he makes the grab on that far sideline, does an East Nashville receiver, and there's a late penalty. I believe a late hit might be coming.
DK Williams just absolutely destroyed the East Nashville running back there on the East Nashville running back trying to help with pass protection, but he slowed DK, but DK threw him back about 7 yards after he hit him. This is going to result in a first down. I think he may have had it on the play anyway, but the penalty afterwards definitely gives them a first down. They're going to march up to the 46-yard line here. So Eagles not going away peacefully into the night just yet.
Again, yeah, this is a prideful team. 3 straight runner-up finishes in 3A. And I promise you, folks, you will hear from them in the 2A title discussion, regardless of what their non-region record looks like. With all due respect to the foes in their region, East Nashville could enter 0-5. Well, they play 4 non-region games before they enter. They have East Hickman, Hickman County, Houston County. I'll tell you what, though, partner. Thursday, October 30th,
oh, Lord of mercy.
East Nashville at East Robertson.
I bet that's a well of a game.
That could be for the region title. Covington scrambling out of danger. Out across the 50.
He runs like a deer.
Yeah, he is close to the first down. He's listed at 6'2". I think he's a little
well, he's wiry.
He's a little less than the 6'2" part, but he gallops with somebody that would be around that height. They snap it quickly.
Ooh.
Oh, stuffed. Absolutely tattooed right up the middle. Maverick Hanks and D.K. Williams flying to the football. No gain on the play for East Nashville. Beech still leading this game 22-13.
I wonder what DK Williams' recruiting profile looks like. I wonder what kind of schools have reached out to him, because that's a young man that I think could play linebacker for, at least a fairly large school at college. He moves around really well and makes great tackles.
Deep ball coming. East Nashville's hit on a few of these. Incomplete. It's a borderline no-fly zone now whenever you go up against River Bailey. This junior DB has more than held his own tonight.
I don't know why you throw over there anymore. He has passed every single test that they've thrown at him, whether it's back shoulder or just straight go routes, the slants on the inside, post, whatever. He beats everything. He's right there for every pass. He gets his hands up. He gets his head turned. He's playing corner at a really high rate right now.
The few times that he has gotten slightly out of position, Covington has overthrown his intended target. Bailey's played one heck of a game. This is a massive third down. 3rd and 10 from the 40. So massive that Coach Damian Harris wants to take a timeout. After not burning really any until the very last of the first half, Harris realizing this is a big situation. And we're going to take a quick break as well. 4:14 to go. We're in the third quarter. Beech strangling the life out of this game here in this third. They lead it 22-13. Casey and I are back right after this. Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage is presented by our friends at Delta Dental.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Back with you guys here. It is second half action. Game kind of hanging in the balance here. East Nashville trailing 22-13. They desperately need something to go their way, and they go into the bag of tricks, a reverse on 3rd and 10.
Oh.
And we have a penalty flag down. A beautifully designed reverse. Cavante Pitts lined up on the left side. They kind of fake an option toward the left. Pitts moves in motion to the right. He picks up about 12 yards for the first down, but it's coming back on a penalty. You got to be kidding me.
Man, right tackle Johnny Martin, he had a guy and was just pushing him. Just pushing him. And then once, I believe it was number 5, Cavante Pitts, was starting to find some open space out there. Martin just kept pushing his guy, and eventually he tried to get outside of him, and he was holding on a little bit too long. I was afraid they were about to throw a flag, and sure enough, there it went.
This is not earth-shattering stuff, but, man, if you take away these penalties tonight from East Nashville, this is a totally different game, and this is a real scary team. They've kind of overcome quite a few. Can they rally once again? 3rd and 14 after that marker. Play fake. Covington is loading, going deep. There's a flag, and this might go against the Bucs here. That pass is sailing out of bounds. It's incomplete. But there's a flag in the secondary.
And, he's calling holding back there.
Yeah, it's in that vicinity of defensive holding, and River Bailey is kind of patting his chest saying, my bad. Might have got twisted and turned and grabbed a little jersey.
Well, a great play by Covington there. Give his guy a chance, and when you throw that pass down there, you get a chance for a holding or a pass interference, stuff like that all the time. So. A good idea from Covington there.
Does not give him a first down, though. Still 3rd and 4. East Nashville nearly got called for a false start there. Now they throw little deep post for out. Oh, incomplete!
Oh, Lord.
And heads up on that sideline. A young bystander got trampled almost there. Lassiter, who obviously is an elite receiver, I don't know that he tipped it. He threw out his arm at just the last moment, and that might have just offered enough of a distraction to cause the incompletion. It was intended for Asai Bonsu, who's had a great grab tonight.
Eagles going fast again. I'm not real sure I'm liking that on 4th down here.
Yeah, this is 4th and 4. And did the Bucs jump offside?
They did, yes, sir.
Wow, jumping into the neutral zone. That play got a little less dramatic as that'll be a fresh set of downs.
And that's senior leader defensive lineman Barrett Brown, too, that jumped over there early. Just trying to make a play. But, you can't really hate on a young man for that, just trying to go out there and make something happen. But you got to watch the ball. You hear it all the time out there on these fields. Watch the ball.
So East Nashville refusing to go quietly into this Sumner County night here. 22-13. Covington uncorks a missile over the middle. Another deep in. That deep in route has been there for a couple different receivers tonight, and that one is, I say, Bonsu.
When as much time as Covington's got back there in the pocket, it don't really matter what they're running. They're going to get open eventually because, again, the East Nashville offensive line doing a great job of keeping Covington straight up.
That's the thing. I've been really impressed with the offense. We've seen so many schools just through 3 weeks of broadcast that have really struggled to give their quarterbacks even more than a couple seconds to look downfield. 3:15 to go. Covington steps up. Right as I say that, the pressure was on him instantly, and he did a great job of stepping up in the pocket, and he nearly squirted free. But he was just tripped up for a small sack. A couple of players in on the tackle there.
I believe the Beech defensive coordinator may be over here next to us in the press box. He heard me talking about not getting enough pressure. He dialed up the blitz right there. It got plenty of pressure on Covington that time. Covington wasn't able to keep his eyes up for his receivers down the field. They've got 7 more guys in the box again.
22-13 is your score. Covington looking, extending the play with his legs. Now he takes off. He wanted to throw, but no one ever really got free downfield, so Covington reluctantly tucks and runs. He does pick up about 5 yards. 3rd and manageable here. 2:14 to go. Beech leads this game 22-13. This is a crucial drive here for the Eagles. Feels like no points here, and we're talking game over.
Yeah, and East Nashville's got a lot of talent. They got a lot of kids out here that are really playing well for them, but Covington's ability to keep the play alive, I think, is the reason why the Eagles still have an opportunity to win this game.
A little bit of a low snap. Screen. Executed beautifully, but just shy of the 1st down marker. Guess who? D.K. Williams. Williams single-handedly saves not only a 1st down, but saves a touchdown most likely. First screen of the night, and it was executed pretty doggone well. But the shoestring tackle means it's 4th and 2, and the offense will stay on the field for the Eagles. Again, they trail by 9. They desperately need points. Whether it's 6 or 3, they're thinking 6.
Well, I know Coach Harris doesn't really trust his kicking game right now, but 3 points right here would be massive.
Would be a short field goal. They run up the middle. Oh, my.
It's close.
It is going to be by a whisker one way or the other. Beech is pointing for turnover on downs. East Nashville's pointing for 1st down.
Are we going to get a measurement?
We don't have Hawkeye technology here, folks. Beech has got everything but we might get the call.
Oh, Whitehat's giving it to him.
Yeah, we're denied. I've been begging for a good old-fashioned chain measurement. We get shortchanged now in the NFL, so I'm kind of antsy for the old school, but
I got to do a story on the chain gang for Dixon County High School a few years ago. It ran by the same family for like the last 50 years. It's really interesting.
Oh, the ball is free! Did Beech recover that? No. Folks, right as the ball was snapped, Beech had 4 young men in the backfield. East Nashville turns, gets the handoff off, and I mean the second the ball was in the breadbasket, the helmet struck the football, and the running back and the ball went flying in 2 different directions. East Nashville quarterback Dallas Covington falls on it somehow. I don't know how that stayed in their possession.
That was a great play by Covington just to go get that ball and keep it in the Eagles' possession.
Second fumble tonight that East Nashville has been very fortunate to recover. Covington now wiggling out of danger, making one man miss, making another miss. Ooh. DK Williams cleans him up at the end of the play right there. Covington took a pretty wicked shot.
I wouldn't want to get tackled by DK Williams.
And that brings us all the way to the end of the third quarter. So we told you guys a moment ago that it was a crucial must-score drive. We're still on that same crucial must-score drive. The Eagles desperate for points. Beech, however, desperate to claw their way to this victory. They lead it 22-13. Casey and I are back with the fourth quarter on Main Street Prep's Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and our friends at Delta Dental.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Fourth quarter begins. Biggest play of the game thus far here on 3rd and 12. Incomplete. East Nashville with the ball, trailing 22-13. Beech had East Nashville hemmed up a couple different times on this drive. I've lost track of how many plays on this drive. I apologize, folks. We are definitely in double-digit territory. And now this is the new biggest play of the ball game. Beech trailed on two different occasions, including at halftime, but they lead it 22-13.
And I believe that's Jay Sean Taylor down here on the bottom that almost caught that in bounds for a touchdown, but it's just a hair out.
Here's a low snap. Pressure. Sack. Turnover on downs. Blaine Keller joined us at halftime and said the low snaps have been a bit of an issue, and East Nashville has kind of survived despite those. This time, however, on 4th down, it betrays them. Sacked in the backfield, and the Bucs will take over. 11:51 to go in this game. And again, Beech leading by 9. Whether you got 3 or you got 6, it felt like you had to get points if you're East Nashville, and they came away with a goose egg.
When it looks like J.R. French coming off the field just a little bit slow, maybe had a cramp or something up there on the top of the field. But Beech defense showing up strong again there. That defensive line, and we've talked a lot about the Eagles' offensive line being really good, but Beech's defensive line has made some plays at some key points in this game, and that was another key point in this game. And the low snap, again, it's just the small things that are really holding the Eagles back.
Give up the middle. Swafford. If you're East Nashville, you want to sell out and stop the run, which has been successful tonight for Beech, but they have thrown the ball well enough to show that they can burn you, including a 41-yard touchdown from Powell a moment ago to Jeremy Laster on a beautiful pump and go.
Well, not just that, but you don't know exactly where you want to sell out to because they can run to the right, run to the left. Sometimes Powell takes it up the middle.
Here's Swafford. That last drive real quick, Casey, for East Nashville. A couple different twists and turns kind of in the road there. none bigger than that massive fumble just when East Nashville was clicking at around the 10. Looked like they were going to easily cruise into the end zone, but the fumble, they do recover, but it really put them behind the sticks, and they never picked it back up.
When it's not just giving up a play, you're giving up yardage. You give up yardage and the play, so it's, I mean, like a penalty, you at least just give up the yardage, you get the payback, but.
And now they sell out on the run to Swafford, but there goes Powell going airborne, little twinkle toes action as Powell and his helmet comes loose. He lost his war bonnet at the end of the play. He's begging with the official. He says, I didn't take my own helmet off. It had to be ripped off by the defense. So Powell will have to come out for a play after losing that headgear. But he picks up a first down, just leaping over a downed lineman. You mentioned Covington running like a deer.
Yeah.
It was a little grace right there, a little elegance on the scamper from Powell for the first down.
It looked like that Jameis Winston run against Oregon a few years ago. Oh, Lord.
Here's a give up the middle to Swafford. He is DDT'd in the backfield right there. For my old school WWE fans, as Devin Phillips, the sophomore defensive tackle, drops him for a loss.
It'd be WWF back in those days, Wade. You remember that?
Yeah.
The World Wrestling Federation. Never will forget.
Well, we are in the home of Jeff Jarrett, folks. So,
That's right.
mean, he was on the Jumbotron even here. Double J.
Well, and one thing I'm actually really interested about, I think the Bucs have been they're snapping the ball a little bit earlier than I would the whole drive. They've had at least double-digit seconds every time.
And now they're throwing. That pass might be incomplete. It is. It was a great route. It was a pretty good throw, but just a little too shallow. That was intended for number 17, Champ Nix. Great name, 6'4", 202-pound senior tight end. He slides to the turf, and he might have trapped it ever so slightly. It was incomplete. Good ruling, good positioning there by our official.
Yeah, lucky kid. I like that name, Champ Nix. A lot better than Casey Patrick. I like that name. But you're right. It wasn't a bad throw, just a little bit low and a little bit behind Nix, and he was unable to bring one in.
As we roll along here, Beech, there's a flag. So, Casey, we've had a couple themes. You know, we had some, our first two broadcasts. I'm not going to speak what happened toward the end of our two broadcasts. But we had a theme for those first two. We've also had a theme of kicking game not necessarily being the greatest. But this is the second or third week in a row, though, we've seen a theme. Doesn't really matter the teams, doesn't really matter the location. The penalty flags have been flying in abundance here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a problem in just about every game I've seen.
Have your Friday night games been that way as well?
Yeah, and I was going to bring up, of course, this Monday, earlier this week, I was able to catch the second half of the Cheatham County and Stewart County football game. And Stewart County had not won in 26 games. And so that's why Stewart County really wanted to get that game in on Monday night. They felt like they could get the Cubs. And for the second half of that game, I think there was like 27 holding penalties.
Oof.
I'm making that number up in my head, but I'm pretty sure that's close. And it was just really rough to watch, and it's been like that on a few Friday nights this year.
9 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Powell on 3rd and 23. He didn't get it all, but he got pretty dang close. Powell, quarterback power to the left, out across the 50, finally brought down at the 42. That's a pickup of about 18 yards.
And they're going fast.
And the Bucs are going to keep the offense out here. Twins to the left, H-back to the left. Powell running power up the middle, and he's short.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to give him any bit of that stretch at the end. Yeah, and it's turnover on downs. So East Nashville takes over, 8:48 to go. Same situation. Beech burned about 5 minutes off the clock, but that's all to show for it. It's still 22-13. East Nashville's got to go fast now.
Yeah, and that was kind of confusing as well. I don't really mind the run there because Caden Powell's been really effective with his legs. But going fast, I mean, you could have wasted another 30 seconds. You know, you could have really given your offensive lineman at least a second to kind of catch their breath after Powell ran for 20 yards on the last play. So just kind of confusing on that one. I felt like Beech could have set themselves up a little bit better for that fourth down play. Either way, though, East Nashville, they're going to get back out here with the ball in their hands. And if they can keep the yellow flags off the field, I think they got an opportunity to go down here and score and make this a one-possession game.
What are the odds we see a deep ball here in the first play or two?
I'd love to see it.
On 1st and 10, though, they give it. And, a good tackle. Flying to the football. There's a young man out there. He wears – we talked about our vision earlier. I can't see so great sometimes. We're a long ways away. But you cannot miss number 44. That's D.K. Williams on the tackle yet again. This kid is unreal at linebacker.
When he moves a little bit faster than everybody else, too. He's quick, he's big, and he's strong.
And there he is again. A run to the left for East Nashville picked up about 2. A run to the right picks up 1. And Williams flies to the ball and makes 2 different stops.
Well, and, we talked about River Bailey earlier. We've talked about Aiden Curry a little bit at safety. D.K. Williams, we talked about Brock Miller, a few of these other guys, Barrett Brown at defensive line. You just got a few guys that East Nashville's trying to get away from right now, and you find out they're everywhere. So Beech's defense doing a good job right now.
3rd and 6. At least right now. And there's a first down. You have to hold your breath with every play here because we are used to seeing the laundry. But that is a little dump in the flat for a first down.
I'm really surprised they didn't get a block in the back either. They set up that little dump pass to the receiver outside. The running back kind of actually comes back and hits the linebacker who was in the back. But, I'm happy we didn't get another flag, but I think they may have missed one right there.
22-13. East Nashville's driving. They trail by 9 here. 7.5 to go in this game. Covington. Deep pass over the middle. 2 receivers in the area. 2 DBs in the area. Not sure which receiver it was intended toward. I'm not sure which defensive back made the swat. But somebody did, and it's an incomplete pass.
Well, and that was almost really, really scary, too, because you got 2 receivers that for East Nashville. Neither one of them are looking at each other. They're looking at the ball, and they were really close to running into each other there. But thankfully, nobody got hurt on that one.
7:19 to go. Covington eluding pressure. And he dances to his left.
My goodness.
Makes another man miss. He fires a pass downfield. Is that caught?
Oh, my goodness.
No way.
They're going to give it to him.
What a catch.
Wow.
Unreal effort. Covington was nearly tripped up rolling to his right, his strong side, twice. He flutters back to his left and uncorks one downfield. We have an injured Beech player who tried desperately to make it off the field. Hunter Smith, a defensive lineman. East Nashville was already up and ready to snap. And Smith is about 15 yards, 20 yards behind the play, and he just collapses.
Well, he couldn't get off the field in time. And it's a good thing it didn't happen to SEC because that would have been, I think he has to come out for the rest of the drive, and they got to give up a timeout and all kinds of other stuff. He was trying to get off the field, but he wasn't able to make it.
Well, now I'm trying to kind of see what happened because East Nashville, I don't think, was even aware of the injury so much as they were just wanting to push tempo. But if they were trying to, have the extra man on the field, when he collapsed, that kind of brought the play to a halt.
Well, and there's a lot of stuff going on.
I don't know how they didn't. I don't know. I'm not sure how a team didn't have to burn a timeout there, or.
Well, Beech
and now we have another. Now we have another Beech player after all of a delay there.
That's Caden Campbell.
Campbell comes barking off on the sideline. A little cramp issue, it looks like.
When they had 2 of the trainers out there on the field with Smith as well earlier, so I really wasn't sure what was happening.
Loading up for it. Covington's got a man if he hits him in stride. He does.
Oh, my goodness.
What on a night of great passes. What a dime. Over the left side shoulder. And that is Damian Elder, I believe. Number 3. Hard to see on that far sideline way off in the Sumner County night. But one thing we could see was the absolute missile that was dropped. We've seen some fantastic throws from both of our quarterbacks tonight, but that one might be the most impressive. With a defender draped all over him, Elder catches it in stride on the letter B in the Buccaneers end zone there. And that kick is blocked. That kick is blocked. The PAT is blocked. Maverick Hanks, third time we've seen a kick blocked tonight, and Hanks didn't bust through the line. He didn't even really jump. But at the last moment, he just flashed his hand up, and a low kick allowed Hanks to block it. And what that means is this new score stays at 22-19. So East Nashville can no longer win it with the field goal, hypothetically. We still got 6:56 to play. Casey, real quick, we're brought to you all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and our friends at Delta Dental. You mentioned Cheatham County at Stewart County, or Cheatham County versus Stewart County earlier. I want to give you a true tip of the cap. I was laid up with some sort of, unofficially, it was kind of a COVID / flu. I was in a fugue state, basically, from the hours of about 8 p.m. Saturday night until about 4 p.m. on Tuesday, I think. And so you graciously made the trip up. How about Cheatham County, though? Hadn't won a home game in like 680 days while their stadium got renovated last year, and now all of a sudden they won back-to-back home games. They want to stay there forever at Mike Giroux Field.
Yeah, and I wrote this week for the upcoming week. I think they've got quite a bit of momentum, and that new stadium's got them playing really hard, and I love it. They played really hard. Ooh, here comes Swafford with that kickoff. He's going to return it out to about the 38-yard line. Swafford's hard to tackle, but speaking of hard to tackle, Walker Hobbs on Monday night for Cheatham County Central, 197 yards.
Woo!
Now, if he's listening, I don't know if he is, his dad, Jeff, told me, we were talking, Hobbs was able to make it into the end zone in the fourth quarter of the game that put him over 200 yards, and they called it back for holding. And so he stuck at, I think, 195, 197, and no touchdown. So Walker's a little bit mad about that one, but an excellent effort from him and the rest of that Cubs football team.
You got to take that up with some of your teammates. Say, hey, man, I want my 2 and I want my touch.
Well, it's one of those, like, 30 holding calls they called on Monday night. And what ended up happening was, and I'm not trying to place blame on nobody, but what they ended up happening was there was supposed to be a junior varsity game between Cheatham and Stewart. And so they had a JV squad out there. And I think maybe they may have just been a little bit inexperienced or something, but it was a flag just about every play on Monday night.
No flag here, but we did have a timeout. East Nashville has already burned 2. Keep that in your back pocket, folks. We got 6:50 to play. Final note real quick while we're mentioning Cheatham County. I'm going to get to experience this tomorrow night. I've heard a lot about it. I am pumped. The Daniel Greer Memorial Axe, which, first of all, is about as cool of a trophy, and really the story behind it is what makes the whole thing work. The Harpeth alumni, 2003 Harpeth alum, but he was a beloved member of both communities, a firefighter, and he was killed in the line of active duty over in Afghanistan, but he was a member of the fire department in Pegram and Cheatham County, or Ashland City, I should say. So they kind of celebrate his legacy the way he would want to by settling on the gridiron. I don't know how much of a gentleman's rivalry it is, but at least the cause is noble, and I'm looking forward to checking that one out in person tomorrow night.
Yeah, and you've got two schools that I think there's a lot of respect, because of how close they are, but they definitely want to beat each other.
Yep.
When you're in the same county, a lot of those kids know each other. They grew up together, and it's just like playing your best friend in shuffleboard. You still want to beat them, don't matter who it is. So. Those matchups are always fun. Those two teams, I think they're kind of evenly matched, and you get an opportunity to get you about as good a football game as we got tonight.
We have resumed play here. It's 22-19, and Beech is throwing for it. Incomplete. 6:05. They burned a second off that clock there after the whistle. 6:04, they officially mark it. But Beech, in the blink of an eye, it's 3rd and 8. And the Bucs were cruising, folks. Again, they trailed at halftime 13-9. They led 22-13, seemingly salting this game away. But East Nashville, this is one of the better 0-2 teams I think you'll see in the state of Tennessee. And they, I promise you folks, again, will be heard from as the rest of this season unfolds. This is a massive 3rd and 8. And Beech will keep it on the ground. First man did not bring him down, but the second man did. Good job of pursuing the football. Cavante Pitts combining with Chauncey Anthony on the tackle there. And Beech going to send out the punting unit. I don't hear the boo birds, but I hear a little consternation in the crowd. The folks here at Shackle Island not feeling great right now. East Nashville is going to get the ball back with 5:30 to go.
I wouldn't want to give Dallas Covington the ball with 5 minutes to go. You saw a few of the offensive linemen there walking off with their head kind of low. They weren't happy with that. I didn't mind the third down play. I thought if it gets them closer, I think Woo!
That was a clean snap, but it was slightly off to the left. And because it was slightly off to the left, East Nashville had a much cleaner look and nearly scooted home on a block right there.
I want to say that was Malachi Harris. He was hauling freight towards that punter. I thought he was going to get to that ball. That's what y'all heard, but Nate Crawl was able to get that punt away. I think that was a heck of a play by Crawl just to get the ball away.
Man.
I thought that was blocked. I mean, I'd have put money on it. The way Harris was running after Crawl right there, I thought he had him.
This has been a whale of a game, folks. It has not been the cleanest played contest by either team. There's been some turnovers. There's been some penalties. Both teams have kind of looked as if they might pull away, really, tonight. But instead, we find ourselves 3-point ball game with 5 minutes to go. Covington, pocket breaking down. He steps up into pocket. Oh, man, and he made one Beech player miss, and he nearly slipped out of a tackle 10 yards downfield. And if he slips that tackle, he is maybe off to the races.
Well, I think it's just a cramp, but D.K. Williams is down on the field right now. He's trying to get his leg worked out. But, Covington was one more guy away from running for a really long time, and he did a lot just to get past the 2 or 3 guys that he did. They're going to give him a flag. I didn't even see the flag.
I missed that as well. The fact we had gone 5 or 6 plays without a penalty flag, I was hearkening back to fonder and simpler times. But, man, that is a disastrous way to start the drive. You pick up a 10-yard gain on your first play. Now all of a sudden you find yourself 1st and 20. Covington goes back to the screen. And a great open field tackle. Good effort by Maverick Hanks, who had blocked the PAT a moment ago. And if Hanks is not there, that is a pure solo effort from Hanks. If he does not make the stop, Brandon Smith probably picks up close to first down yardage.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Hanks there just to make that tackle. I wasn't sure if he was going to or not, but if he doesn't make that tackle, you're absolutely right. I think it's close to first down yardage.
We've seen East Nashville with the screen for the first time on back-to-back drives now. 2nd and 15. Covington rolling to his right, loading up and delivering a strike, hauled in right near the sticks. Cortez Murphy, yes, he needed 15. He got 15 and a quarter for the first down.
Yeah, that quarter was all the extra that they needed, but they got it. And that's a huge first down pickup after that holding on the first play, which I was really afraid was really going to hamper this drive. But Covington, again, making some guys miss, using those legs, getting open, and firing to a wide open receiver.
3:50 to go. East Nashville only has one timeout. Covington, pocket breaking down. Flush to his left. Another in route. Hauled in by Elder, who caught a touchdown a moment ago. He signals for his own first down. And he had it by about a yard. So East Nashville, again, they cannot take the lead with a field goal here. They had the PAT blocked a moment ago. They're not thinking field goal, I promise you that, but if it came down to it, it would only be able to tie it. We're 22-19 here. Beech ahead. Covington all day to throw, and he airmails one. The Beech faithful seated below us are begging for a holding call.
Which you could call just about every play if you wanted to, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Some of my best photos of the Sycamore game last week, there were clearly held jerseys in that, and I don't recall a single penalty being thrown. So, yeah, kind of comes and goes as to when you want to call it.
I'm pretty sure that one of the Dixon photographers, Marty Allison, actually won a Tennessee Press Awards award for a picture like that.
Pocket breaking down. Covington. Uh-oh, this is danger. Little slip out of the catch and off to the races. Somewhat. Brought down by the back of his jersey. Not a horse collar, we should point out. It had all the familiar makings of a horse collar penalty, but that was danger. Elder caught it on a little bit of a stagger kind of slant, cutting up field, and as he cuts up field, he had acres of space. It looked like he was off to the races. Beech brings him down, though. 2:50 to go in this ball game. This has been an epic showdown on Thursday night. 22-19, Beech leads. Covington stepping up, firing downfield. Dropped in the end zone. Oh, my word. Dropped. And Covington and the East Nashville offense, hands on their helmets in disbelief. I think the whole stadium just held its collective breath.
I did too.
As I believe that's either Elder or Pitts. Hard for us to see.
I believe it's Pitts. Wide open in the end zone. Just the softest pass that Covington could have thrown, and just Pitts wasn't able to reel it in.
2nd and 10. Covington trying a much harder throw here. That pass knocked away, but there's a flag. Face guarding in the end zone, I believe, is going to be your call to be DPI against River Bailey. And, you know,
I'm not
being
real
a DB is not the most glamorous position, folks, because as great as he has played tonight, River Bailey, they still keep going at him. You have to battle each and every single snap, and that time he got burned. Did not turn around and make the play on the ball.
And that's the reason why he's going to get the penalty call. I still don't know if he was really that close for pass interference, but he's going to get the penalty call.
Defensive substitution for the Bucks here. Caden Powell, number 13, trotting out at linebacker.
He just wants to hit somebody, I bet.
Setting the stage here. East Nashville with the ball near the goal line now. It's going to be 1st and 10 from around the 10. I believe they can get a first down at the half-yard line. 2:34 to go in this game. East Nashville's got one timeout. They trail by 3. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be an epic ending here tonight. Covington, motion to his left. He rolls to his right, and the ball comes loose. The ball comes loose. And the Bucks have recovered. Covington got absolutely crunched. And when he tried to slide between two defenders, that ball was just held up in the air ever so awkwardly. And that extra brush of contact pops it loose. East Nashville has lived dangerously tonight, recovering 2 fumbles, very unfortunate fashion. This time, however, with the game on the line, their luck runs out. Beech takes over at their own 10. Massive stop for this defense.
I think that's just Dallas Covington being a young man, trying to make too much happen right there, especially on first down. You know, just throw that thing out of bounds. You know, you can live to fight. You got 3 more downs after that one. They're probably not going to kick. They haven't been able to kick all day long, so you know you're going to have 4 downs within 10 yards. I hate that for Covington. He's going to beat on himself. He's just trying to make something happen, but Buccaneers are going to try and run out this clock.
2:26. And the Bucks are stopped in the backfield. Forward progress is the call, but I believe we're also going to have a face mask penalty. East Nashville again. They didn't call any of their timeouts until about 30 seconds left in the first half, but they burned through 2 of them pretty quickly in this second half, and those 2 timeouts are massively not in their possession right now. 2:18 to play. East Nashville with a crucial turnover just a handful of plays after a dropped walk-in touchdown We're talking about East Nashville with the lead here, and the Bucks needing to answer to try and win this game. And in the blink of an eye, 2 plays after the dropped touchdown, we're talking about Beech now trying to run the clock out.
Well, I'm glad you brought up those timeouts for East Nashville, because with the lack of timeouts, you really can't allow another first down. If the Eagles expect or want to win this football game, they have to force a punt here. They have to. There's not enough time left on the clock, and the Eagles with only 1 timeout left. Referee's trying to get more time put on the play clock, I believe.
Great crowd on hand tonight, folks. East Nashville brought a pretty good crew. You hear the East Nashville band off in the distance. They've been bringing the noise all night long. Outstanding effort from them. Outstanding effort from their football team. Beech has obviously filled the stands and then some. Gorgeous night here in Sumner County.
Another one.
Shackle Island, as Blaine Keller was quick to point out. I had this pulled up earlier, too.
Well, I bet you can hear that band all the way from Jolt.
I think you're right. The 2010 census tells us that Shackle Island officially listed at 2,844 population, so I learn something new every day, folks. Minute 44 to go. That resetting of the clock really allowed Beech. They dropped the football. They dropped the football. Bad snap exchange, and then luckily they fall on it. And it's Swafford they weren't in a victory formation. They're not quite there yet, but it almost panned out that way because Swafford falls on the football. Awkward exchange. Powell falls to the turf. He can't corral it, and then Swafford steps up from his running back position and does dive on it. That would have been a crazy turn of events, but as it is, Beech sees East Nashville take its last time out. The Eagles have to sell out for maybe even a turnover here. It's going to be 2nd and long with 1:29 to go in this ballgame.
And it looks like Whitehead is asking for 130. Yeah, he's up here. He's pointing to the guys right next to me asking for 130. Only going to add 1 second to the clock, but I really did not see. I'm glad you saw it. I did not see what happened on that snap, that exchange, or whatever that last 140. Excuse me. So they added 11 seconds to the clock, which all of this could mean something. I mean, the way Covington can really fling that thing around.
Yeah.
I'd hate if you're the Buccaneers. I don't care how much time is left, and I don't care if they got timeouts or not. I don't think you want to give the ball back to the Eagles at all. So everything means a little bit of something right now. Still just a 3-point ball game. What a heck of a ball game we've been able to watch tonight. This is a good one. You said it right. A few instances, a few flags here and there, maybe not perfection, but really good football between two teams.
It's about as good as you can ask for on Thursday night, partner. Final score down in Middle Tennessee. Lincoln County cruises 42-20 over Columbia Academy. Our pal Mo Patton will have coverage of that one in Main Street Murray later tonight, he tells us. As Powell on a power carry to the right. He got a yard. The yard is not necessarily the crucial thing. The crucial thing is keeping that clock running. Play clock's at 33. Game clock's at 1:15.
How creative do you get here on 3rd and long? I know you want to get a first down just to keep the ball in your possession. But, I mean, you're obviously not going to throw it. You want to keep the clock running. But do you try one of those reverses or something? Because, I mean, you just had a bad snap. Maybe you don't get too creative. Maybe you just hand it up off the middle. They are good. Yeah, I believe you're right. They're just standing around thinking about it right now.
Yeah, Beech is going to have time to probably talk this over. They're going to let the play clock. Did they blow that dead early? Timeout was called by Beech. 45 seconds are showing on the game clock. And at the time the officials ran in for the timeout, there was 3 seconds still remaining on the play clock. And if they didn't get it down to 1, I mean, who knows? It may not really matter. But that's one you got to let bleed.
I tell you what does matter right now. right now, and I talked about it just a few minutes ago. When Beech was out here running the ball really well, they were snapping it at about 14, 13 seconds left on the clock. And that was just 3 or 4 plays earlier. I mean, and we're talking, what do we got left, 45 seconds? If you run the clock off for 4 more of those plays, I mean, this thing's over. We're packing our stuff up. I'm headed to McDonald's or Waffle House or something. You know what I mean? Like, little things like that are the little things that I think Coach Crabtree's going to see, you know, when he watches. He wants to change that.
They'll give out of the shotgun. Swafford is tackled with 40 seconds remaining. So they'll reset. And they won't have to snap it again.
Nope. No, they won't.
Thought there might be just enough of a wiggle or differential there that we'd at least see a punt situation, but no punt needed.
Nothing.
Beech comes roaring back after trailing on 2 different occasions in the first half and backs against the wall late. The Bucks come up with a goal line stand, forcing a turnover and outlasting East Nashville in an epic Thursday night game of the week here this evening in Sumner County. 22-19, the Bucks top East Nashville here at home.
Yeah, and I've talked a few times about Henry County might be the best 0-3 team in the state. Creekwood's a really good 0-3 team that I cover. I think East Nashville's another one of these teams that maybe they haven't had the type of start they want to this season. But I think this is a really good football team. They're going to move to 0-3 tonight with a 3-point loss to Beech. But I think the Eagles are a really, really strong football team, especially when they stop holding and maybe figure out a kicking game. But Beech and Caden Powell kind of showed you why he's an SEC athlete. You know, he might not be an SEC quarterback, but he's an SEC athlete, and I think he really pushed his team to victory tonight. A lot of other guys, especially, we named a few of those guys off on that defense. From Bailey had a great night. Aiden Curry had a great night. Brock Miller with a great night. DK Williams, I think he has a great night every time he puts his pads on. But Beech looked really good. I think East looked pretty good. A really good football game between 2 teams tonight that we got to see. And, you kind of feel bad for the Eagles there. I thought they might get the ball, might get an opportunity there at the end. But as you said, the Buccaneers will run out the clock and move to, I believe, 3-1 on the season now. Or 2-1 if you don't count the no contest.
Good stuff here tonight in our Main Street Preps game of the week. Once again, 22-19 is your final score. Congrats to the Bucks, and best of luck the rest of the way. Okay, so we've done all we can do, partner. We've done 2 Beech games, and we've got to see both sides, right? We got to see them bounce back from that Week 1 loss, and that's, to me, what was so fascinating about tonight's broadcast assignment was we got a chance to see with our own 2 eyes the difference from Week 1 to Week 4. And, I think Coach Crabtree would still tell you, hey, we're still not where we want to be, but we certainly are kind of trending in the right direction. We saw a lot of good stuff from both of these teams here tonight. East Nashville, about as talented and about as dangerous of a winless ball club as you're going to find in the state, and we certainly saw some good stuff here from the hometown Buccaneers this evening.
Yeah, and I think East Nashville had all the right tools to kind of push Beech and make them kind of see what they were made of when it comes to trying to stop a really athletic quarterback, or maybe trying to stop some really fast receivers, strong running game. I think East Nashville pushed Beech, and this is going to be some tape that Coach Crabtree can go back and watch and find out a lot about his team, because East Nashville is good enough to kind of push your boundaries. And man, again, like I said, I've already a bunch of times tonight, but an excellent game. I hate to see. You look down there, East Nashville. They look kind of beat. They kind of beat on themselves, but that's a heck of a football team, and they will have something to say down there in that 2A bracket.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Speaking of big games, next week, Beech is on the road at Upperman. That's this was a 2A versus 5A matchup. That is going to be about as good of a 5A, 4A matchup as you'll see in the state of Tennessee. So Beech has got a big one coming up next week. And not to be outdone, East Nashville welcomes Springfield to town next week, so that should be a fantastic showdown. As for me and Casey, we told you guys at halftime, we'll be over in Greenbrier where the Bobcats will welcome Portland. It'll be the Bobcats and Panthers getting it on Thursday night. Main Street Preps Game of the Week coverage. Casey, I'm going to lean on you for the hometown knowledge over kind of near Greenbrier next week, but I'm looking forward to another exciting week of high school football with everybody.
Yeah, and I just hope we can continue this this good weather that we've been having. I mean, it's been beautiful. It's been a nice drive the first 4 weeks of Thursday night football, and of course I'm real selfish, so I'm gonna sit here and talk about everything about me. But it has been really nice on us, and I mean I've really appreciated the opportunity to get out here and do this. This is just fun, regardless of what we get paid to do it. But it is fun, and I hope next week we get the same kind of matchup we've had tonight. This was an excellent game, and I hope we just get to see something kind of like this for the rest of the year, just about every Thursday night. That'd be all right with me.
Be all right with me too, partner. Casey, be safe heading back, brother. I'll see you next week, all right?
Yes, sir. I'll see you then.
Thank you very much to Casey Patrick. Thank you to Blaine Keller, who joined us at halftime, and our producer, Mark Rogers, for making the magic happen on another outstanding broadcast of Main Street Preps Game of the Week coverage presented by our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Also, thank you to our crew at Delta Dental of Tennessee. Before we get out of here, I want to send a special salute and thank you to our good friend and assistant producer, Scott Stewart. Scott and the family been going through a lot this week, but Scott, we thank you. We love you. We've been thinking of you, and we love you, and we're praying for you and the fam. And we know that you were tuned in tonight, and we'll be tuned in and pulling for you guys down there in Pulaski the rest of the weekend and the rest of the season. So long from Beech, where the Bucks knock off East Nashville 22-19 is your final. Wade Neely saying so long. We'll see you next week over in Greenbrier. Good night.